Hope you're well. It is Tuesday, the 13th of May. Welcome to TDA, the day after. Your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. As always, your host about the best. I'm one of them. My royalty. And of course, Brent is here.
Oops.
What's happening?
It
No
can't.
sounds?
It can't hear you.
Well, I had a feeling, I had a feeling. But then the headphones are quite away. So I thought,
There we go.
This is TDA, the day after. Today's Tuesday 13th. This is the home of popular culture, as defined by culture. Your host about the best, as always. It's a quick summary. And I go by my royalty, aka Esther.
Is it me?
Yes, it is. Oh, the thing is... You need that to introduce yourself. So dramatic.
No, I thought you said it wasn't on me.
No, it is on you. I meant, sorry, the screen is tilted away from you. That big screen.
Good morning, people. They call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
That is right. And of course, Brent the man is here.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is blessed and highly favored this beautiful Tuesday morning.
Hallelujah.
Today is a good day. Today is a blessed day because
Today is a day a babe was blessed in our lives.
this day is when
You better ask somebody. Okay. Hit those notes.
the Danielle Dodu
Absolutely.
was born. It
babe
is her
of all
blessed
babes.
born day.
Okay.
I was actually gonna make a thumbnail.
Oh,
with
were you? That would've been
but
sweet.
then I was like, oh, if she saw it, would she have a proper be making her
'cause she'd be like-
blown up and then claymation? So I would send it to her privately.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That is
All right.
actually a good idea.
When is it you can make your way to Danielle Dodu's Instagram and send her birthday blessings.
Send her
She's
love.
not going to see any of it.
She will
But
not.
when she
Okay.
goes back onto Instagram next month.
I think the only person that's actually worse than me with instant messages is Danielle. Me and Danielle are like bar for bar. It's a competition.
All right then. Good morning. Obviously, because it's Daniel's birthday today, I am going to be in such a high spirited mood
Absolutely.
the entire day. Well, I've been for the entire week, to be honest.
It's
For the
Tuesday.
same reason. Yeah.
Yesterday you didn't tell him good morning.
Oh yeah. True. All right. Good morning, everybody.
Is that it?
That's
That's a great mood, Brent.
That is it. All right. So, have we got any admin? Is that thing on? Oh, it's turned on.
Yes, he has.
All right, cool. I think we have quite a few dilemmas, so let's not be minding anybody else's business but ours, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you
I'm
very
here
much.
for that.
There is one thing, but I think we can leave that till Wednesday.
What was
To be
it?
fair, it's about apparently these ministers, the Prime Minister of is it President France, Keir Starmer, these lot taking coke, man. Caught on camera.
Maybe they made those racist migration laws whilst under the influence.
Nah, that's them naturally.
I think that's the natural.
Yeah,
It is giving
yeah.
natural. It's giving like we woke up like this.
100%.
Turn your swag on kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
So yeah.
Okay.
Cocaine.
Cool.
God damn it.
Moved it, right.
I need it.
What do you mean, why? For someone who doesn't like people asking them very stupid questions,
To be honest,
you dabble.
he has energy in his house.
What does that mean?
You have electricity. Charge it before you come.
Obviously, that's the plan. But, you
It
know.
didn't work out.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm moving bit by bit. You will start seeing new things the walls very soon.
We're gonna come in here one day, it's gonna be chairs.
100%.
Barely.
100%.
On the one couch.
All right, people. So,
Wow, Jules said let's
Jules,
not
yeah,
lie
like
and
you wake
spread
up-
misinformation. So no cocaine was Brent, or is this saying that it's not Daniel's birthday?
I don't
Because it's
think
Daniel's
birthday.
birthday.
For sure. I think it might be talking about Keir Starmer.
what do you say?
He used to wake up hot. He
Let's
said,
not lie and spread misinformation.
yeah.
No, I mean, to be fair, I
allegedly,
didn't believe it. Yeah, it's alleged. But it came from Alex Jones. You know what
Do you
I
know
mean?
how white people, like, cocaine is to white people what weed is to black people? Cocaine is to white people what cigarettes is to smokers. Not all white people. So
Of course.
if you're not a cocaine taker, I don't see why you should be triggered, right? Because I'm not triggered by the thought of weed smokers.
Cocaine.
But cocaine, that's a serious. I don't do so casually. They're just minding your business and just whip out some powder.
That's crazy. I mean, I was going to say that's what it looked like in a video, but it didn't look like that. Basically, they were clearing away the evidence. You know what I'm saying? One guy just went like this. The French guy just did that.
That's not suspicious at all. I want to see the video. That would be interesting. It's all alleged, okay?
Yes, of course.
So we raise our taxes just people in this room.
You know. But our first headline, trigger warning, guys. Big trigger warning on this one. The prisons minister has said that supermax jails could be built to house the most dangerous offenders following a spate of alleged attacks on staff. James Timpson told the Politics Hub with Sophie Ridge that we shouldn't rule anything out when asked if the most dangerous criminals should be placed in top security prisons. It comes after Southport triple killer Axel Rudakubana allegedly threw boiling water from a kettle at an officer at HMP Belmarsh on Thursday. Police are now investigating. Before that, 3 prison officers were also allegedly attacked by 28-year-old Hashem Abedi, who is the brother of the Manchester Arena bomber Salman Abedi, with hot cooking oil and improvised knives. This is potentially made from a baking tray. Speaking from HMP Preston for a special program of the Politics Hub, Mr. Timpson told Sophie Ridge, we inherited a complete mess in the prison system. Violence is up, assaults on staff is up, but for me, we shouldn't rule anything out. Next headline, and counter-terrorism police are leading an investigation into suspicious fires, or a suspicious fire, I should say, at Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer's house in North London in the early hours of Monday. Yeah,
that's not good.
There was damage to the property's entrance, but nobody was hurt. That's what the Met Police said. A cordon is in place outside the house in Kentish Town. The Prime Minister, who resides at his official residence in Downing Street, is understood to still own the property, which has been rented out. Police said counter-terrorism officers were leading the probe as a precaution and due to the property having previous connections with a high-profile public figure. They also added that the cause of the fire continues to be investigated, but at this stage is being treated as suspicious. Sir Keir has thanked the emergency services for their work, and he also added that the matter was subject to a live investigation, so I can't comment further, and declined to further provide any details when asked whether any members of Sir Keir Starmer's family were in the house when the fire started. And our last headline, again Keir Starmer, but he's basically out, man, and he has defended his plans to curb net migration after an angry backlash from MPs and also from businesses and also industry, to a speech in which he said that the UK risked becoming an island of strangers without tough new policies. The rhetoric was likened by some critics to the language of Enoch Powell, and the Prime Minister was accused of pandering to the populist right by insisting that he intended to take back control of our borders and end the squalid chapter of rising inward migration. Some politicians claimed that his words had echoed Enoch Powell's notorious Rivers of Blood speech, which imagined a future multicultural Britain where the white population found themselves made strangers in their own country. When asked to respond to accusations he had adopted Powell's rhetoric, Starmer told The Guardian, migrants make a massive contribution to the UK and I would never denigrate that. But in words that could further enrage his critics, Starmer insisted that new migrants must learn the language and integrate once in the UK. He also said Britain is an inclusive and tolerant country, but the public expect that people who come here should be expected to learn the language and integrate. And that is it for our headlines, people.
All right, let's get into what you're saying, topic of the day.
All right, people. So today's topic of the day, it's going to be a bit of a spoiler, I'm pretty sure. But Esther told us yesterday, you know what I mean? That's going to be about Forever. So if you have watched it, join the Discord, chime in. But yeah, it's about Forever, which is a Netflix show.
By Mara Brock Ali.
There you go.
She's the creator of Friends as well. Not Friends, Girlfriend, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, she's done a lot, actually.
She's a black woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is she black? Yeah, she's a black woman. She's a black woman. But she's one of the best shows I've ever watched in my life, yeah. It's a show she did called Love Is. I think it's based on the love story between her and her husband, but it's such a lovely show. Unfortunately, it had one season because her stupid man was caught up in the Me Too situations. They robbed us. I'm hoping she can bring it back though. It was such a great show. Oh, a great show. But anyway, yeah.
But yes, this apparently was an adaptation of a novel that was banned back in the day.
Is it?
Yeah, by Judy Blume. She's a white American
I wonder what was banned.
author. Because of all the themes about sexuality and teens exploring their sexual stuff.
But they didn't.
I think they've changed it a bit.
That's interesting
maybe.
because back then, but I wonder what year that was though.
I think it was in the 70s.
Yeah, people were still behind the closets and under the bed and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so that's basically just a bit of information.
That's interesting.
But what is Forever about?
So basically, Forever is basically follows the lives of two young people. So like in America, I think you go to high school before you go to uni, right? So they're basically like in their final year of like high school kind of thing, and then they knew each other from when they were in kindergarten basically, But yeah, so it shows that they've got different lives. So they both got their parents in their lives, but the boy comes from a very like present black family where like the mum and dad, like they know absolutely every single thing that's going on with their kids. They know this, they know that. So that's where the boy comes from. But it's and he plays basketball. So obviously the plan is for him to go on and get drafted and blah, 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 blah. But it's one of those things where his life has been so planned for him. They've got a beautiful house, got a pool. Like he's just got a very privileged, nice life. Do you get what I mean? His first car was a G-Wagon. Like he's just got a very privileged life in that sense. But it's one of those things where he doesn't, I guess he's been sheltered. So he's quite awkward. He's quite an awkward black guy. But his parents are just so, I wish I could get that. If you get the cast out, beautiful, like amazing cast. The people that we know as well, seasoned actors. Not the boy. I'd never seen the boy, and I'd never seen the girl. But they did well to prepare.
I remember seeing, because in the trailer I saw his dad. Oh, what's his dad's name?
Yeah.
He's a known guy, man. He's in Paid in Full.
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but he's really good with it. So like his mum
one.
is very strict and like she has anxiety about worrying about her children and da. But he's very more like chill. So say the guy wants to go out, the mum is like, no, like who, where, why, where, da. And dad's just okay, basically be safe, call us when you do this, so that, do you get me? So that kind of family dynamic it comes from. But essentially he's got a very great skill with making music beats. But obviously he's playing basketball, so he's being pushed the basketball way. And then with the girl, she comes from a family where she's being taken care of by her mum. Her dad is in her life, but her dad travels a lot because he plays baseball or whatever the case is. So her mum is basically her provider, and they're super, super close. So when we meet her mum is basically, they live together, but her mum is basically struggling, like having to work extra shifts and whatever else to pay for her school. So she's an athlete. She's a runner. She's a track star. And she's really, really good. So their whole thing is for her to go to Howard. It's for her to get a full scholarship and go to Howard or whatever. But then, so they randomly meet at a party, right? And she recognizes him, he doesn't recognize her until she says, oh, this is who I am. And he's like, oh, da. But it's one of those things where it's like they see each other, they like each other straight away, they feel safe with each other, they can be themselves with each other. So they go on a date, and then so they go to the cinema, right? So first they went to this shop. He got a gift card from his grandma or whatever from Christmas. So she's buying something and he was like, oh, you can get something. She's like, no. She's like, no, honestly, like, I've got a gift card, I'll get it for you. So she gets a bag for her running, right? So then they go to the cinema after that. So obviously in the cinema, it's dark, teens, just with the hormones and whatnot. They start kissing and whatnot. And then they start touching bits. But then she's trying to do something else. But then he was like, oh, no, stop. So basically he felt bad because he felt like, because he knows the perception of women feeling like they have to do something because a guy has bought them something. Okay. So he was like, oh, if it's that, like, no, you don't have to kind of thing. But then she's taken aback and offended by that because she's like, no, because I wanted to, but now she feels weird and whatever. So she storms off and then she leaves and whatever. And then they basically kind of argue. She was like to him, have you seen the video? And he's like, what video? Like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, whatever, she'll just delete my number. First of all, in that show, then people block each other. Like there's any little thing they're blocking each other. But obviously it's like teen love, so exactly. Sounds right. But anyway, so anyway, turns out, right, let me just quick summary. Turns out that there was a sex tape of her. So she used to go out with a guy who is he's a basketball player as well. And he's like, the way they talk about him in the show, they basically keep saying that he's the next LeBron, da. So turns out that guy sent and the reason was so stupid was sent a sex tape of her giving him fellatio. Is that the correct profession term? And then he sends it to his friend, and then his friend then sends it around. So she was at her old school, because she's very intelligent and very talented. She was on a full scholarship, but because of that thing, she was then getting bullied. She basically sunk into depression, but she never told her mum. So her mum was just like, you know what? I'm not going to lose my child. I'm going to take you out of this school. So that means that she lost her full scholarship, which is why her mum has to work all those jobs to try and blah, 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 blah. So anyway, so that guy does that. So but he didn't know about it. Justin didn't know about it. Christian is the guy who leaked the sex tape. Justin is the one who she's now dating or whatever else, but he didn't know about it. But then his boy sent it to him, and he was like, oh. But then he was just like, I don't care about that, because that was a violation. That should have never happened, blah, blah, blah. So they basically just deal with all of that stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then they just had, I guess they're on and off, but it just speaks to the lack of emotional growth. But then it's really good because she helps him discover that he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. He's only doing what it is that he thinks he should be doing. He's doing what it is that his parents have planned, have put in order for him. But really and truly, he's good at basketball. So basically, he's a 3-point shooter. Like, he was the only one in his team who could. But then it was the thing where you're not pulling your weight in other things. Like, you're not very interested. You're slacking in school. And you know, like over in America, like they're like, if you're not getting your grades right, you can't really play. So he's benched a lot. So being with her made him realize that maybe that's not what he wants to do. And actually, he enjoys the music. Like, the music is so natural to him, because he makes really, I can't even lie, he makes really good beats. You know, sometimes when in films and stuff, when they try to play music, it's like, that's dead. Turn that off. But he makes really good beats, so he's very talented in that. But she helped him realize that he doesn't know what he wants to do. But because with her, her mind is, I'm just going to get over the rest of high school after this thing that's happened to me, and I'm going to get a full scholarship, go to Howard, so my mom can stop like working the way she's working. She's very focused and knows what she wants to do. So he's almost like leaning on her as his crutch, because she knows what she's doing. So at one point, he's meant to go to another uni. He was like, he prays he doesn't get into the uni. Then he gets into the uni, because it was like an early admission. But then he's very happy. But she was like, weren't you hoping that you wouldn't get into it? And he's like, oh yeah, but you know, this is going to be great. And then his dad is like, you're the first man in our family. Because he was like, your great granddad was picking cotton. And he was like, you're the first man in the family. So he feels that pressure as well. But then she's like, because he was like, oh, it's just 4 years. And she's just like, fair, but you keep complaining to me that you don't know what you want to do with your life. So you really need to think about it, kind of thing. So there was that as well. So I think it really explored really good themes, because her mum then comes to find out, because his parents find out about the sex tape. And they were like, everyone has let her down. Because basically the mum's thing is that, because they go to that vacation where white people do, like they do all these because they're rich. But her thing is that when it comes to black people, it's still us. And her biggest thing was that he cannot be with any girl other than black. So as soon as he found out it was like Keisha, because she's very brilliant, he's like, oh my gosh, like black girl, like she was very, very happy and whatnot. Then when she found out about the sex tape, she was hurt, but she was like, when it's white people, they have a village, they're protected. But she's like, when it's always our kids always have to face these things alone. So she's like, okay, does her mum know? And then the guy was like, no. So then the reason why her mum knows was because his mum said, we're her village. And we are not about to let this, like, she's had to deal with this for so long by herself. We're not going to let that happen any further. So I get she doesn't want to tell, but she was like, if she doesn't tell her mum, I'm going to be the one to call her mum and sadly have to let her know this thing, kind of thing. Which I thought was nice, because it's revenge porn. But that frustrated me watching it, because I was like, how is nobody talking about this is a crime? So anyway, her mum finds out, and obviously her mum's upset and angry and whatever else. But then and then when the woman called her mum, the woman called her and actually like even suggested therapy and recommended her to a therapist and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff to help her with it, which I thought was nice, a nice theme to bring into it. But her mum was like, I'm going to the police. She was like, I'm going to the police. Because another thing that happened was that the guy, because he's a star, as in the guy she did sex tape with, because he's a star athlete, and again, he's so popular, he's already got sponsorships, he's got sponsors by Nike, like, his life is flourishing. And that's one of the things she told him, like, you did this thing to me, it's following me everywhere, but you just get to live your life and whatever. But the guy then asked her to prom, even though she was with the other guy, right? But because her mum didn't know, he basically, her mum didn't know why they broke up, right? Her mum just saw it as he's trying to win her back. But because she didn't want to tell her mum about the sex tape, she then went to the prom with him. And her mum was like, her mum felt bad because she's like, how could you live? You basically had to live through that traumatic thing, trying to protect. But she was like to her mum, like, you've done so much, and I just didn't, like, she was like, I just didn't want that to be another thing on your plate, kind of thing. But anyway, it ended up being it's a really good thing. I don't want to spoil the end because in case someone watches it, but you should definitely watch it. The big thing happens at the end. But it was good. I feel like it was really nice to explore the theme of just parenting. Like, they were all present parents, and even like her dad. Oh, her dad is the man who was in Love Is, and he's such a good-looking man. He gives like conscious rapper type of vibe. I don't know if see if you can find him, but yeah, so that's Keisha's dad, right? But anyway, her dad was like, because even with him, so basically he was really good at baseball, but for whatever reason, I can't remember what the reason was, but basically he couldn't pursue his dream or whatever because of his dad, something like that anyway. I think his dad wanted him to focus on, I can't remember what it was anyway, but basically he's basically trying to relive his youth. So that was even a lesson for the young boy. And so when he met the young boy actually the first time, he told his daughter afterwards, he's like, that guy's lost. But he was like, it's because I see myself in him. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. So he was the one who told her, like, you're his crutch. Like, he's using you. He's basically leaning on you because he doesn't know where he's going and you know where you're going. Because even at one point, the guy's like, he wants to go to Howard. And she was just like you're trying to follow me because you don't have a clue. But anyway, yeah, so that happened. But it was really good. I think it's a really good film on parenting, just because you can be the most present parents, and both parents were, but you can have no clue what's truly going on in your children's lives. And also it showed, like, because there's moments as well where they're both heartbroken, but as much as you can protect your children from everything, because his parents taught him what to do when the police stops him, how to drive safely, don't drink, don't do, like, they taught him so many good values. And even when he was around people that were doing drugs and stuff, he would be like, no, like, very good home training. Oh my gosh, Brent, you know Abbott, right? Abbott Elementary. You know Minnie, what's his name? The janitor.
Yes.
You know the guy that plays his Minnie?
Who plays this Minnie?
That little boy that's always trying to be his little protege.
I'm not up to speed.
You're not? Oh, damn.
No, not with his Minnie. I don't think I've seen his Minnie.
So basically, dressed up as him for Halloween, and then he always has like cameo camera moments speaking as Mr. Johnson. It's so funny. But that was the guy's little brother, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so happy that he's in a good path for his career, and he was really funny on there as well. But yeah, so I feel like it was really good for parenting, but also as well, like, even like just sex talks with your kids and stuff, because it's crazy how many kids find themselves in these positions of revenge porn and like these things, and it's very scary, and how it can affect their lives, and it can easily derail their lives. So I feel like that it had really good themes. Honestly, it had really, really good themes, and even just the black love, like just seeing. Like, do you know what? If this was Tyler Perry, yeah. Because I'll be honest with you, at one point, because they were so like in love and free, and in their love, they were always, you know, having sex and whatnot. I was like, this girl is gonna get pregnant, and she's gonna lose her scholarship, and now she's gonna end up being a baby mom, and I was scared.
Yeah.
But thank God, Mara doesn't do me like that. Because if that was Tyler Perry, without a doubt, that girl would have been pregnant. He would have dumped her.
Yep, that one.
Gone for a white woman, and then she would have had to raise that child in a single manner, and then she would have basically repeated the same thing her mum happened to her mum.
Yep, there'll be a church scene as well.
Oh, there'll always be a church scene.
Yeah,
always be a church scene, because she would come in there with the baby.
There you go.
All down and destitute. Talking about, oh Lord, save me. But thank God black women don't do me like that. Because when I was so anxious, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I was like, she's going to lose her scholarship, but thankfully she didn't. But I thought it was really good. It was really, really wholesome, really, really good. And it's just, yeah, I feel like if you've got teens, I think it's good for anyone to watch anyway, to be honest. But I definitely think that if you've got children, and just to know what the kind of things that kids go through and like deal with, and just how quickly social media how things just spread on social media so quickly. Like, she went to a school in a whole different place, and they found her there. Do you get what I mean? So it's just it's very mad. And it had some like things that the parents were dealing with as well. Because like, even like with the mum, like, she was very, obviously because she's got boys, she's only got boys. Okay. So she has the anxiety of police brutality. She has anxiety of them always being safe. Like, she has anxiety of you're just not going to end up living a very foolish life, or like not having anything for yourself kind of thing. And it was very, very, it's very good. Very very good writing. Big up Maria Brock Ali.
How was the parenting of the girl though?
It was good. That's the sad part. It was not that it was sad. Not that, you know, if
So
people
her dad
found...
was present?
No, so basically her dad wasn't. Her dad was always on the road.
Okay.
Her dad was always on the road. So her mum was the only one who was basically a present parent. But she had a lovely village around her. Like her friends, like her cousins, they had a really good system. So even with her dad's dad, so her granddad, he was the one who every single morning, because she would train every single morning, he was the one who would pick her up every single morning, because she would wake up like 5 or 4, something crazy like that. You know, these athletes, that's what they do. She would wake up so early in the morning, and then she would like run around the park and everything, and he would always be there, and like he would challenge her, he would time her. So she had a single parent, and her dad wasn't physically there, but they've had a village around them that obviously you miss your dad, but it wasn't like just a single mum. She's struggling to do everything kind of thing. Like it was very, very good. So they both had really good upbringing. It was just interesting that they come from different, like one of them is poor and the other one is just okay and struggles, and like her mum has to budget every single month and write things down to her to be like, oh, what trainers do you need? Okay. And she's like, oh no, it's fine, like I'll just ask the school if they can help. And she's like, yeah, but I just want to write it down just in case. And it was that kind of family. And obviously the other ones are just comfortable, like they go to Martha's Vineyard for like holidays, and do you get what I mean? Like it's just they're very very well off, and like the dad had a restaurant and was going to open up other branches. Yeah, but it was nice. I think it was nice to not see black people just in low income situations. Like it's nice to see black people that have wealth, and also their friends as well. They had family members and they had friends who were also black and rich. Yeah, do you get what I mean? And it's like, do you know what I mean? And it was just nice. It was just wholesome to just see black people in that light. And then the person who doesn't have the wealth, they're rich in culture. They're rich in family. It was really nice. So yeah, it was good.
Is somebody in Discord?
Yes.
Oh,
good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Christy. Good morning, Chims.
Morning, y'all.
Morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, babes. Can you hear us?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I didn't want to interrupt what your
yes,
point
Christy,
was
you watched
saying.
it. I saw your story.
Yes, I did. I did. I loved it. Obviously, I was the black mother because there was a key scene when the mother found out that he was dating a black girl. So obviously, she was celebrating. So obviously, that would be me. Obviously, it kind of touched on things because they're in LA and they're like well-to-do. So obviously, they put the son in a predominantly white school. So he has to kind of navigate that.
Yeah.
And also, he's actually neurodivergent, so that was a key point as well.
Yeah.
So in dealing with that. So I think she's obviously wants the best. Obviously, she wants the best for her son. Obviously, she's well-to-do, but she also knows he's going to grow up to be a black man in America. So I think those fears are driving her. So she was worried that obviously if he's in a predominantly white school, then he's going to gravitate towards white girls.
Yeah.
So when she found out that, she was like, Keisha. And then the boy was like, how many white girls do you know that's called Keisha? She was happy. So even the dad was like, why didn't you just lead with that? Because I don't want to spoil it, but he did something and the mum found out and then he took away his phone.
Yeah.
So he wasn't able to text her. So he went to the dad and to speak, like, can you speak to mum, please? And the dad was like, when the dad was now interrogating about the girl, the dad was like, why didn't you lead with that?
Right.
Because that's what your mum wants. So that was a good. I like the dynamic between the parents. But as for I feel like for the Keisha character though, sorry, the mum was struggling. Esther.
Yeah, the mum was definitely struggling.
She was struggling. Sorry, the dad.
Multiple jobs.
Sorry, the dad wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, he wasn't.
But he mentioned that he he contributes. Remember when she got the full at her party for her uni, and he said, "Oh, like thank God it's a full scholarship as well. Like don't have to be paying." So that's when I was like, oh, okay, so he makes some kind of contribution, even though he's on the road. But physically,
Guys, sorry, can I jump in a little bit here?
Mm-hmm.
The reason I want to jump in is because I think I'm on the exact same space where Esther is. I understand what Esther's trying to say. Esther's trying to say, like, yo,
Did you just say you're on the spectrum?
What did they?
Did you say you're on the spectrum?
No, not a spectrum. I'm saying I'm on the same page Esther is. Where Esther is she's basically somebody that's working with grace. And that's different. Like it's hard to navigate for other people when they are working with grace. Like for other people to understand it. Does that make sense?
Sorry, I'm so lost.
It's because your phone's coming in and coming out. It's like Jackie's.
Esther's logic won't make sense because she's working on Jesus Christ's like basically side. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
That's very different to everyone else.
I agree.
But how are you relating that to like the situation? Are you talking about in terms of like giving the mum grace to I don't know. Okay, cool. And the dad as well.
Every single point.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you've actually heard what Esther's explanation was, it was based off grace.
Okay, so I'm speaking because I don't know my Lord Jesus Christ, so I'm not speaking of grace. Understand?
Go on, Esther. See, you can say your side. I'm just saying that I know what you were trying to say. I can obviously explain my side.
Eddie 2.0.
But
I didn't know Esther needed you to speak for her, but okay, carry on.
I'm not trying to speak for Esther.
Too late.
All right, so Chims, what's your side then? Because you said that you can explain
my side.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Could I have a question directly asked so I can deep it proper?
Okay, yeah. So what was your take in terms of like the contribution of the parents on the girl side, the parents of the girl?
But yeah, you asked me like, what's the direct question? What is it?
What's your like, your take on the relationship and the contribution of both of their parents in the girl's life?
No, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, can you ask me the direct question so I can give a direct answer?
That's the questions.
What's the question?
That's the question I just said. I'm saying, what was your take? Like, what's your take, your opinion on the dynamic between the parents of the girl and their contribution in the girl's life?
I think the Marge was wrong.
The who?
The Marge.
Oh, why?
She was way wrong.
Why?
This is what I'm saying, bro. Big one.
Chims, what's going on, man?
No, so the Shaq can also hear it. Yeah.
Huh?
I'm saying, can you just say the question so I can also give the answer and they can also hear?
I'm going to come back to you. Yeah.
Huh?
I'm going to come back to you.
All right.
Christy, you were saying that she's poor, innit? What happened? That she's poor. Like, I don't know, man.
I'm sorry.
Christy.
Funny about it. I'm funny about it.
No, that's just her son. I'm wondering why she's laughing like that.
Oh, okay.
So much so that she
I'll
can't
be
even
honest, James,
speak.
I'm confused. It sounds like you might be on yesterday's episode.
It's his. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Oh gosh. Sorry, Ethan. Sorry. Go on.
No, I was just saying.
I know Chris is crying.
Exactly. I can see
Do
it.
you
I
think
can
we're
see
talking
it.
about Sinners or Forever?
Have you watched Forever?
Chims?
Oh, you lot speak?
Yes, we're talking to you.
All right, go on. Sorry, what was the question?
Have you watched Forever?
I watched Forever.
On Netflix.
He's talking about sisters. That's why he's on Esther's.
Do,
And she's
do you think we're talking about Sinners? Do you think that we are live yesterday? Today?
What?
Exactly. Can you imagine? You're confused.
No, I'm doing it. I think they were the same. Man.
We're talking about the TV show Forever on Netflix.
I've not watched that.
Oh,
So why are you blaming the mum?
what?
What mum are you talking about?
Wicked Bake.
Whose mum?
Wicked Bake. For that, this is your brother.
I thought
Your older brother who taught you how to wake and bake.
I was here, honestly, bro.
this is diabolical, man. This is
Nah,
diabolical.
he said the march was wrong. Whose mum were you talking about then?
I don't know. Even in Sinners.
Sinners. That's what I thought, maybe in Sinners, but I was like, there's no mum in Sinners. I've been trying to go through the cast in my head. Hello, Chims.
Jiminy.
I'm done.
You're in this
No,
Jiminy.
Brent, why?
No, but I'll be honest with you, I really want to know whose mum he was talking about then.
Yeah, like Chim's, whose mum?
Because going straight for the mum is wrong is wild. That's a wild take.
A direct question.
Who's Stacey?
Nah, that's Jackie.
Oh, Jackie.
Maybe no. Jokes aside, I just probably took this wrong. The one thing I actually wanted to talk about, other stuff with Iman.
Oh, I'll be honest with you. Today is a Lover's Day.
Yeah.
Today is
Iman
TDA's Valentine's Day.
Iman, I need to talk to Iman.
No, I'm so sorry. You're
Is it
gonna have to
about
say
forever?
this. It's not. You ain't watched it.
Christy, allow me, man.
It's probably about religion or something.
Yeah,
I've not been here for a bit, bro. I've not been here for a minute.
Yeah, so message him. DM email.
Allow-
Chims.
like-
Brent's gotta go.
100%.
9:15. Brent's gotta go.
I've spoken to them for a minute.
You know, we ain't got a long show today, man.
We don't.
So we have to keep it about the topic. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But also,
There's one-
actually, I'm not here tomorrow. Yeah, we've got on time tomorrow.
Yeah, you can call. You can what do you call it? Call up tomorrow.
oh.
Yeah. All right, man.
Thanks, Chims.
Thank you.
So yeah, Christy. Christy was interrupted. What were you? Are you done laughing? Christy, have you come up for air?
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
No, woo.
Yeah, we're here.
We're
We can
here.
hear you.
I don't know. Wow. Anyway, I don't know where I was.
You're talking about the mum and how the mum was struggling, like really struggling.
Yeah, I felt like they obviously done a good job not trying to make it too
Yeah, too obvious.
stereotypical. I'm glad she didn't, because again, like you said, Tyler Perry would have leaned all the way in.
Girl.
But he 100%. It was very evident. Obviously, she was struggling because I didn't understand how the dad is doing baseball and stuff, but why is she still? Because she was even over thinking about her mum.
Yeah.
What she wanted to even contemplate talking to the Christian guy who had done something to her, like perpetrated something to her. So I think that's very deep. That she was also considering her mum is struggling to the point where she had to put herself through that.
Yeah.
Also,
So I
don't you think that she's... There, we finished.
No, go.
She's... You know, sometimes when people internalize their mum's struggle, their mum's struggling, she's doing more than she should have. In terms of, there are free schools, but the mum wants the best for her because she knows she's super academic. So her mum's forcing to go to a school that this mum's like, I'm fighting for a school that I can't afford. I'm literally going to my second job for your school. So if she didn't have to pay for that, would she be financially better?
I find the impression there would be.
Yeah, because sometimes people say, I grew up poor. It's like, did you grow up poor? Or you grew up just not having extra things? So if there was food on the table, there was warmth in the house, the place looked really nice, she's in a nice area as well, were you struggling or were you just doing too much to provide for her? And I think Keisha wore that burden of, my mum's doing everything for me. So she really appreciated the sacrifice her mum gave her because her mum was literally working and grinding for her. Someone could have said, but nobody forced you.
But I
People,
think-
you know, people are like, no one, you're not entitled to any kind of reciprocation. But the way in which Keisha showed her appreciation was like, let me grind and work for you. I'm not add anything to your plate, which is to her detriment, because then it's like, I'm not going to tell my mom because I can't add to her struggles and her burdens. Maybe I might get a job, maybe I might do this. Just because she didn't want to add to the perceived burden the mum had.
I thought that was
Yeah, but I
interesting
think
as well,
also-
though. Go on, Christine.
I also think that the mum and daughter's relationship wasn't as where it needed to be as it was perceived in the beginning.
You think so? Why?
Because there's a reason. Yeah, because in the way she reacted when she got told, and she even said to Justin, because the character name is Justin, isn't it?
Yeah, the nice boyfriend. Yeah, he's Justin.
Yeah. When she was like, I knew this is why I didn't want to say nothing, because I knew this how she was gonna react. And even when she said it to the mum, this is why I don't tell you. This is why I don't tell you things.
Yeah, but
So
then
I think it was perceived like had a close relationship.
But then don't you think though that that's like a natural way for a mum to react, because it was in the same, wasn't it? So basically, when she told her mum, remember she told her mum at nighttime, her mum was going to work. Then her mum came in the morning, and then her mum was basically not talking to her. Like, oh, morning, her mum wasn't really talking to her. So that's when she texted him like, oh, that she's not talking to me, whatever. And then I think he's actually, to Chris's point, he said something like, oh, like you knew she was gonna react that way, you knew she was gonna do this, blah blah blah. But then before she went to school, they talked about it. And she was like, I'm going to go to the police, blah, blah, blah. She's like, this is what, like, that shouldn't have happened. I feel like the mum turned around very quickly. And I think for me, the way I see that is, it was a natural reaction for her to react that way. Like, because everything we've been doing for your life is, you're going to have, because to the point that Jackie said about the expensive school, it's like her other school was scholarship, like, done. It was free. It was full scholarship. And it's like her mum cared about her well-being, her mental well-being so much that she pulled her out of there, but she's like, I'm not going to put you in a lower school, I'm still going to put you, maintain the standard kind of thing. And then it's like, and I think it's a thing where it hit the mum, like, everything we've been doing has been for this. And it's like, how could you be so stupid and let that happen? But then her mum was at work overnight, thought about it, and came back the next day and was like, do you know what? Let's do this. And that's when they had the argument of like, the argument was really that her mum was like, it's a crime, I'm going to the police, because she was like, he's off scholarship, going to be the next basketball player, blah 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 blah, but this is now damaging you and could have a lifetime impact on you. Essentially her mum was like, it's not fair. Like it's just not fair. And so they had that argument, and then she went to her cousins, but then her mum went to her cousins to get her and was like, listen, da da da, and then that's when they had more of a conversation. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm not too harsh on her mum for reacting that way, because I think any mother will be angry. And I think if it was a thing where she was told her mum as soon as it happened, I think her mum would have been annoyed in the moment, but we would have been like a few minutes thing. But because she kept it so long, and like the reality we've been living for like a year,
it's because of you,
has been because of this, and you could have told me and you never told me. And it's like, one, I think, but I think to Chris's point as well, I think her mum did question like, how could you not tell me? But that's what she was like, I just didn't want that on your plate. So I don't think it's that they weren't so close. And I think, but I like that theme though, of like, doesn't matter how close you think you are to your children, they still have to be the ones to tell you things. Do you get me? Like, there's certain things you might be able to dig through, but realistically, how was her mum ever really going to know that there's a sex tape of a child out there if no one like brings it to her or anything like that? Like, the only way she would have ever known really is her child telling her. Do you get me?
Also, she is close to her mum, but there is also a good, strong mother and daughter.
Yes.
Like, 1 minute they're friends.
Like, I'm not your friend.
I'm not your friend. And that's why she wasn't able to say, I'm not your friend. You can't come and tell me any and everything because I'm not your friend. So I think if she had told her mum straight away, it could have presented an image of codependency, and as the mum treating her as her crutch. I think it was really done well, where I'm still fearful of my mum. She's my friend. She's close in age. We can play together, we can chill together. But I know the boundaries of where I can't show her and tell her everything that I'm doing. I think the mum also has a fear of, I don't want you to end up like me.
Oh my gosh, the pregnant thing. Let's talk about the pregnant thing.
That's what she's scared of. She's scared of her repeating her mistakes. I know the consequence of having an early child. Not that you're a mistake, but the struggles I have to fight because I had you too early. I don't want you doing the same thing. I think when people have current traumas, that's the biggest thing they fight with their own children. Like, don't go down this path. I know where it leads to. But I think with her mum, it showed her the consequence of, she reprimanded her for things and showed her easily the consequences, whereas Justin's mum kind of shielded him so much. Oh, you don't do work. Don't worry, we're going to go and see the school. Oh, you're not doing it. Don't worry, we're going to... It was always save the day for him, whereas, what's her name? Keisha knew the consequence a lot more to things. So she knows the consequence of not getting up at 4:30 a.m. to go and train. She knows the consequences of... And they're actually running up, I don't know what that thing, the Run Canyon or whatever it is, at 4:30 a.m. Did we see Justin doing all those trainings? Well, he trained probably for basketball, but did he put his all in? But he didn't have to, because the mum saved the day. She always saved the day. Whereas Keisha's mum's like, you're going to fall down on your face. What would you know?
I don't think so. I don't agree. I just feel like that's just the reality of he's in a well-to-do family.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well-to-do
I
families,
think that's just the result of that.
Yeah, no, so the danger of when you're, say, for example, a black person and you go to when you're now well-to-do, you remove the grit that people that had if they were raised in ends.
No, but I don't think you're not taking account that he's also neurodivergent. So I think that plays a big part in the mum as well.
Yes, true.
Remember they said his mum had to go to therapy for anxiety that she has over the children. Like, so, and that's when that's why the dad was always like, just tell your mum this, just like essentially appease her because she's struggling. Because I can't remember what scene it was, but he was like, it was the prom. It was when they went to prom, right? And his dad was like, oh, can you please call your mum and let her know how prom went, because she's really trying to not be overbearing, but I know it's killing her. So please, like, help her in that regard. But I feel like it was good though to, like, because the reality of parenting is that as much as parents try to shield their children from what they're really going through, I think even if you have a single parent who you know that they're struggling, you will never really be able to understand that fully unless you were in the same position with your children or whatever. And I think I like that they explored that though, of her fear of not wanting to tell her mum, because like, I don't want to add this extra burden to her, even though her mum would do anything for her, even though her mum is out here like working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and is trying to get a better, because she ended up getting a really, really good job as well, which was like working towards and whatever. I think it just showed the reality of what that's like, and even her mum always saying to her like, oh, don't be pregnant, don't get pregnant. I think as a mother, she saw that as just her wanting the best for a child. But it's like what Jackie said, where it's like, you've got that trauma there, and then now you're inflicting that on the child. Because that's part of the reasons why she didn't want to tell her, where it's like, you always say I shouldn't get pregnant. I didn't want you to think that, I am along that way or doing, do you know what I mean? So I feel like it was interesting, parent-child dynamic. Because even with the guy, even though he comes from a well-to-do family, there was still discipline. There was still take your devices. There was still, okay, we'll take your car. There was still really good discipline. There was still rules and regulations, and you have to repeat them before you go out, which sometimes you don't really get from, I guess, the well-to-do families you see on TV. It's always, they can do whatever they want to do, like to the point where even when he's out, he cares about what his parents are going to think. Like the punishment that he got, because he's always been like a shy kid. Yeah. So he got the confidence to do these things. But even then, before any of that happened, he would have never ever dreamt of like doing something like that or reacting that way, of like having your driving instructor and then making your driving instructor go to the girls' school so you can talk to her. And these are not things that he would have ever really done. So at the time she met him, he was trying to come out of his shell without knowing how to. And I think it was nice that she helped his character development in that way. I think that was really good. And I think it was nice about how it was that he supported her through the whole sex tape thing, because her thing was that everyone judges me and everyone doesn't want to talk to me. Like, that's why she quickly cut him off, because she was like, oh, you're just going to find out, you're going to cut, and you're going to react that way. But it was nice that he came to find out, and he was very, very supportive. And when his parents found out, his parents brought it to him like, oh, we just found out. And he was like, oh yeah, I've been knowing. Yeah. And they're like, I feel like their thing was that he wanted them to maybe break up with her. And he was like, no, I'm supporting her and I'm going to stay with her. I feel like that's when the mum was just like, okay, let's be her village then. Because it was after that, then she then slept on it. Okay. And then she woke up the next day, she was like, do you know what? Actually, no, like, it's not right that she's been dealing with the thing. But her first thing was to judge her. Yeah. Her first thing was to think, oh my gosh, she's gonna, she's bad for my child kind of thing. But when she spoke to the child, and the child was like, no, we've been knowing, I've been supporting her, and I'm not breaking up with her. I'm going to support, I don't care. That's what and I liked that. I liked that the kids, sorry, Christy, I liked that the kids had mindsets that challenge the parents to rethink how they are as parents. But sorry, Chris, what are you gonna say?
No, it's me. I
sorry,
don't even think it's the kids. I think the parents being very rational people. In the initial reaction for both of them, this is my son, let me protect my son, but I slept in it. This is my daughter, let me be angry, but I slept on it. Let's defend you, let's protect you. And it goes to show that black people do have a community within ourselves. So the mum, if you see the comparison with when the mum said, when it's us in these elite schools, PWI schools, predominantly white institutes, they don't protect us. So therefore we must be our own village. And I think sometimes when we climb up, and when they went to Martha's Vineyard, one of the friends said to the mum, you think everything that's white is great and good, but it's a realization of they're not going to come and save you. And when things hit the fan, they're not going to be the ones that come and save you. We save ourselves. So just a reminder of no matter how high you go, you still need that community. And I think what was great with the writer is it wasn't a them versus us. I thought she was going to, when she dropped Keisha to Keisha's house, as well as gifts. When she dropped Keisha home, when Justin's mum dropped Keisha home, I thought she was going to judge the area and say, "Oh, it's a bit dangerous in this area," but she didn't.
Yeah,
I think that really highlights that they're not uppity and looking down on
they're just
where they came from.
Successful.
They're just well-off people. But the conversation also that I picked up was when you're well-off, there's different demons when you're raising kids. Because when you're from wherever we're from with ends, even if you grew up in wealth in ends, you still saw grit, you still saw people grafting and hard work. Whereas when you're in a particular area, although the mum is raising a neurodivergent child, she is also raising a rich kid. There's only so much hustle that you have to have if you're rich. If you don't pass a scholarship, Justin doesn't need a scholarship to get into these high schools. He just needs to get into a good university. With his grades aren't great, that's why he needs the basketball to boost him up. But nevertheless, it wasn't a financial issue.
Yeah.
So when the teacher's asking him, Justin, I think you need to use the extra time we're giving you. I'm good, I'm okay. Oh, you're not good. Do you know that you're not good?
I think also he feels shame.
Good is not there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also he's not even, when he's in the house reading and Googling stuff, he's not Googling academics. He's Googling other random things, which is fine. But
again, Jackie, sorry, you're not taking into account HDHD. And I don't
I'm putting that to the side for now because I'm talking about the lens of.
You can't put it to the side.
I get that. I'm saying the lens of somebody.
It's the key element of why he can drift off on all that stuff.
Yeah.
So you to say that it's not really fair. You can't put it to the side.
I'm saying from that's an angle. But I'm saying another angle is the disparity between his parents' wealth and her parents' wealth. The way she understood the consequence, even his younger brother wouldn't understand certain consequence of not passing, not making the grade, because you have that luxury. So say, for example, he was ADHD in Keisha's mum's house. He just would have to go to a normal state school and suffer the consequence of a normal state school. But because two-parent household, she can go to school meetings for extra things, whereas Keisha's mum's been called for school meetings, and she's like, bro, I had to stop work for this. She's annoyed. There's a different angle when Keisha's mum goes to school versus when the two parents go to school. I'm saying from the angle of wealth, not from the angle of ADHD.
Yeah, but I don't think his grades were like abysmal. They just weren't good enough for Ivy League colleges.
Yeah.
The mum wanted him to go to her school, which is Northwestern, which is a highly rated university there.
I'll give a real life example. I'll give a real life example in Kent, loads of parents are doing grammar schools, banging out grammar schools. So grammar schools are, the difference between grammar schools and secondary schools is you need to do these 4 tests: verbal reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, English and maths, and they're literally equivalent. First of all, verbal reasoning and non-verbal reasoning is not taught in state schools. And then the English and maths is equivalent to year 7, year 8 topics. A lot of people, particularly people of color, are now rushing to put their kids into these schools. And then some of them, like myself, you then ask, is your kid dumb? I'm like, no, your kid is not dumb, but they might not be scholarship material. But because you're fighting to get into these great schools, you're overly making everybody a Keisha when some people are Justins. I'm not saying Justin is dumb, quote unquote dumb, but he might not be scholarship material where he's part of the top 1%. But when you don't have...
No, I was just going to say, Jackie, apparently Stacey said his grades were low, man. He had a 2.0 GPA.
That's why he needed to do the basketball to add on to it.
Yeah, that's low as hell.
Right. Let me paint this picture where everyone's overly in these Kent areas, and Essex and the likes. They're overly pushing all their kids to get into grammar school, which is equivalent to your kid going to getting a scholarship. But then it's the rush of, is your kid scholarship material? No. But is it bad? No. But do you have the luxury of saying, let me go to a normal state school in these working class areas? You don't have that luxury. So although we're not poor, you're not wealthy to explore great private schools in the area. So Justin's parents had the cushion to fall back on. He could still go to a good school. We'll just pay for it. Northwestern was the mum's. Northwestern's a great university. That's the mum's option. He had other places that he could have gone to, but the mum just had her own need of going to her alma mater, her previous school. So if she allowed, she just had that whole thing for herself, but she can also afford all the others. He was like, let me see if my uncle can get me to Howard. That's, you've got connection and money there. He's got the options, whereas Keisha's like, Howard's my only option because I know the trajectory of where Howard's going to take me, blah, blah, blah. So there's a luxury of being able to fail in those places. They don't have the mindset to even say, let me push myself to the extreme limits. Because I don't have to. When you have money, you don't have to. That's the whole point of having money, to not have to do those things for your kids. Whereas Keisha had to do track and wake up 4:30 a.m. Keisha had to do well. She's obviously Urkel, so she's got that natural ability anyway, but she knows where she wants to be. So therefore she can't afford to fail. And that's the difference. So taking away anything else is more about what wealth provides you, the luxury it provides you. Also the negative of not having to overly grind. I don't know whether that's negative in the first place, but he's allowed to explore. He wanted to then explore music.
Yeah.
Because he knows there's an option.
Yeah, because it was nice as well. Because even like when he's doing the music stuff, actually, I don't want to spoil that part. But you know when at some point he says that he doesn't want to depend on his parents fully, basically, and so that was wholesome as well. I don't want to spoil it.
Yes, I find the mum, the Justin's mum, is a smotherer because now he's got ADHD. And also they shot it in front. I don't know if you mentioned this, but they shot it. The writer purposely shot it during the year. You know, she's very particular with the year in which you were seeing it. It was 2017 going into 2018. She did that on purpose because she was saying that she wanted the climate of how bad it was being black and young and a black boy in America when Trayvon Martin died, just because he had a hoodie on his head. So the mum is heightened with her anxiety because it's like, you're a black boy. You're literally a black boy in America and you're not poor. But I've heard Gabrielle Union she's had these same conversations and is devoid of work or poverty or any class status. Sometimes when you're black in America, you're the same. As long as you're driving and the police want to stop you, you're going to be the same as Tyrone from Ends. So the mum's got that heightened fear, and that's why she's overly like smothering him with being black. But she's also got the language to help him as well, being that she's raising his child with neurodivergence. So she's saying to him, give me a yes or no answer. It's a yes or no question. And then tell me where, who, when, and why, or whatever. So she's given him the word. And I think that was when you're from a well-to-do two-parent household, you've got the luxury of using your words. Let's use our words. How do we feel? That's why he's so articulate with his feelings. Yes, he is naturally emotionally inclined. His emotional intelligence is high. But so are some people from ends whose emotional intelligence are high, but they don't have the words for it. So when they're angry, they're just angry. Or is it that you're shy? Is it that you're nervous? Justin's able to articulate himself well because of the work that the mum's done for herself and for her family. So Justin, tell me who, what, when, why, when you're going out. Justin, this is a yes or no answer. Similar to Chim's on the call, this is a yes or no question. So answer it as a yes or no format. So she's done the work to train and raise her child in how he needs to be raised, which I think is a testament to her and not ignoring his struggles. But the mum did kind of want him to live her life as well. Hence why she went to Northwestern. Hence why he wants to do basketball, because he's following after his dad's footsteps. Hence the weight of the shoulder of, you're the first boy in our family to go to university. That's a big weight to hold on yourself again. So they both have weights from their parents' expectations. Well, Keisha's mum, you can't, you've got to do well. You can't get pregnant because of me. And then the rich ones, you've overly got to get into Northwestern, the best of the best of the best. Is it the best for him though?
Word. It's a really good show, man. Honestly, I think people should definitely watch it.
Good morning, Sally and Stacey.
Good morning. How is everyone?
Good, thank
All
you,
good,
Saleh. How are
thank
you?
How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Lots have happened. Lots has happened since we last spoke.
So dramatic.
What, you want
I
to
hope
fill us
you're well,
in? Is that why you mentioned it? Talk to us. What can we celebrate?
I am currently residing in Saudi Arabia.
You're the most random
Yes.
person I
I've
know.
made a move.
What are you doing over there, Saleh?
I got an opportunity, and yeah,
Oh,
I've now found myself here.
congratulations.
Well done, man. Well done.
Well done, man. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you very much. And yeah, I was listening to this conversation. I actually watched the show as well.
Oh, nice.
I think it was quite good, and I think it ties very well into something that is very important, and I think I need to share
I'm scared.
because. Okay, now obviously we're talking about Black people, and like their financial. Sorry, there's a bit of an echo, so it's kind of confusing me a bit. But yeah, we're talking about different Black people and their financial background, etc., etc. And I have actually been given an opportunity, which has the opportunity to help many Black people. So if you are a Black person and you're currently listening to this, then please listen and listen well. Because out here in Saudi Arabia, I've got in contact with a wholesaler who has oil, so petrol, wheat, steel, and petrol's byproducts, and then also tea as well. So these are all the commodities that we have available. And anyone listening to this currently, if you know anybody at all in any of these trades, and yeah, maybe a factory owner, someone in the petrol trade, and you can make a connection that can lead to a sale, then definitely get in contact with me because we can make a lot of money.
Thank you,
Okay.
Saleh. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Now, how the hell did this connect to forever?
Stacey, he said connected Black wealth. He said on the theme
Yeah, Black.
You like
of
Justin's
Justin's
mum, get that
parents
money.
Good.
being rich.
Yeah, no, but because obviously these children, yeah, well, I'm terrible with names when I watch shows anyway. But if you would like, I think the father was the wealthy father was a chef. Now, obviously, we're talking about wheat, and if you would like your children, your daughters, your sons in the same situation, and give them the benefits and the ability to not have to specifically work as hard and blah blah blah, then this is your call. This is your call. This is the time. I will put my email in the comments of this video later, and anyone at all, reach out. Let's petrol, literally.
I do
Yeah,
have to
man.
say, Saleh, just because of what we have going on over here, to anyone watching who does contact Saleh, you are not doing that because of TMB. Actually, let me let Brent steady the camera first. Stephen cannot go on
in
jury
fact-
duty on day 2.
In
Comes back.
fact, even
And this is what we're doing. No, Saleh, no. I
Even
have to make the
Brent-
disclaimer for the company. Okay?
yeah, well, even for you guys as well.
No,
If
wait
you
a
guys
minute,
are
man.
able to facilitate something that can lead to a deal, then I will happily cut you guys in as well. But we
Okay.
have the opportunity to start making some Saudi money. So
Okay, so
that's
this is
it.
this is everyone listening, the public listening, and also HMRC. The new black the new black and Saleh are not working together. Okay? He's just done that. He's expressed on his own free will. Any listeners who do contact Saleh, I'm actually being dead serious. You did not do that based off advice that you received on TDA, on the day after, on the rotation, on the new black, on the reaction, certainly not People's Journal, just making it clear. But thank you, Saleh.
Words. No worries. A word to the wise is enough.
I hope
To
you
the
guys are
wise
wise
is
with my
enough.
words. I really hope you are. All right,
Inshallah.
Stacey, please bring us back. Get us back in the car. Please, girl.
I fear I don't even know how because I came into the conversation so late. But I loved the show and I
Oh,
thought it was so interesting, not just because of the storyline, but specifically relating to Keisha because she literally was pursuing Howard in the exact
oh yeah, that's your
timeline.
uni, isn't it?
The exact timeline, like to a T, that I was also pursuing Howard. So I understood that on a different level. But just Echo is really messing with my ear. Do y'all have the sound on loud?
That'd be Brent.
We struggle as well, Stacey.
Hold up.
Huh?
Oh, then Brent's trying to fix
The
it.
echo is annoying.
Yeah, it's hard to like listen. Okay, it's gone now.
Okay, I can hear it anyway.
But yeah, it was so interesting because I was like, huh, this is cool. Like very much relating to the struggle of specifically wanting to go to Howard. Well, it wasn't a struggle for me, but wanting to go to Howard with a scholarship in the year 2017. Which was very interesting, and like just seeing that, also being from LA and passing literally a lot of the things that are in their neighborhood quite literally every day, living in Hollywood, but going to work in Inglewood requires me to pass Crenshaw and a lot of those side streets all the time. So I'll be seeing different little random places that Keisha's walking by. I'm like, that's 56 and such and such.
Oh,
Like,
that's
that's
so cool,
interesting.
actually.
'Cause who would have thought? In fact, where what you call it? The restaurant that what's his name's dad
Oh yeah, Justin's dad
owns.
has, yeah.
Can you imagine? It's next door to my house, where I'm
No
at right
way.
now. Like,
Oh, that's lit.
it's next door to my house. So I'm like, this is very
Also,
interesting.
don't you say
But
everyone where you live, girl.
uh, it- whatever. But nonetheless, I thought it was a very, very, very well executed show.
Yeah,
I had seen the ads. I feel like the ads were very targeted to me because rom coms are my bag. I can't really do much,
they did well with
other
that.
television.
Yeah.
I just prefer my entertainment to have a happy ending, and rom coms seem to, do that most times. I can't do horror, drama, thrillers, all the things. But it was just refreshing to see a black rom com, and I don't want to limit it to rom com because it's so many other things. It's a young adult film or young adult series, etc. Executed in a non-traumatic way and in a very intentional way that I don't think we've had in a very long time. Someone had said something on Twitter the other day, and they were like, "It's nice that the nuance didn't lead into deep dives into traumatic experiences."
Mm-hmm.
Like every black person, like for example, when Justin was coming from Keisha's house when he was driving, and obviously, his parents coach him up on how to, react to police, which is a very pivotal conversation for not just black people, but especially black boys growing up in America, having that discussion of this is how you deal with, and dealing with police officers, and having that fear in his heart of seeing a police behind him and like second guessing everything. To this day, I do that. Like everyone does that. It's like you could be doing absolutely nothing but just casually driving, but the moment that you see that silhouette, it's like, all right, 10 and 2, under the speed limit by far. Like the phone flinging in the back seat. Like that's just a very common experience, and just to have so many, so many key things executed so well for television and not dramatized. I thought that was very refreshing. What Jackie was saying about Keisha, I don't exactly remember where she was going with the full scope of her perspective because I didn't hear all of it, but I did think Keisha wasn't necessarily, while her mom, not being able to afford private school, which is hilarious because they changed the school to St. Maria's. The actual school's name is St. Mary's. They did no work to cover the school. But I feel like it had less to do with finances and more to do with her personal ambition. And I thought that was very commendable. Again, speaking less to trauma, I think it's a very common experience, especially for people who grew up going to private school. Myself included, I grew up going to private school all of my life except high school. You don't really know what your parents' finances are until you get to that point where you're getting into that prom season, and your parents start getting into like, all right, sweetie, what's the list? Is it hair, shoes, nails, like what is it? And that's when you get that reality check. And to have that literally to a T be the exact moment where I became aware of like your parents' financials and like where you fit in that when it comes to like college and stuff was like wow, like experience to AT. So that was refreshing. But I think that I don't want to confuse her ambition to go to Howard with that of track because it wasn't that. Um, it was more academic and more merit because Howard at that specific time was giving scholarships like candy if you met a very specific academic requirement. And for them to even include that nuance is just like, 10 across the board. But I can go into a whole yapathon about this whole thing, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Very layered, but accurate. The storyline portrayed from a Black lens, 10 out of 10. Miss Ma'am is a Delta. We love that. Like, so many things. So many things.
It was
Anyway,
definitely good.
yeah.
Thank you, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, people.
Yeah, guys, watch it, man. It's a really good show. I hope we've all sold it to you. Me, Jackie, Christy, Stacey. That was it.
And me.
No,
Don't forget.
you saw something else.
I was definitely selling.
You saw you and Chims are on some different planet this morning.
All right, people.
Move on.
Let's move on. All right, people. So this next headline, I'm just waiting for my doctor to load up. This next headline, if I remember correctly, is one that I found annoying, but I was somewhat happy, to be fair. And trigger warning for me, I think. So the first group of white South Africans granted refugee status by Donald Trump's administration have arrived in the US, stirring controversy in South Africa as the US president declared that the Afrikaners are victims of genocide. This is what's happening. The Afrikaners, which is a minority descended from mainly Dutch colonists, were met at Dulles International Airport outside Washington, D.C. by U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landor and the Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security Troy Edgar, with many given U.S. flags to wave. Reuters reported that the group numbered 59 adults and children, citing as State Department official, whilst Associated Press said that there was 49. So it's a small disparity in the number. Anyway, at the airport, Landor told the assembled white South Africans, "It is such an honor for us to receive you here today. It makes me so happy to see you with our flag in your hands." He also invoked his family's history, saying, "My own father was born in Europe and had to leave his country when Hitler came in. We respect what you have had to deal with these last few years." He also added again, "We're sending a clear message to the United States. We're sending a clear message that the United States really rejects the egregious persecution of people on the basis of race in South Africa." It's a joke. On the same day the group arrived in the US, Trump's government also ended legal protections that had temporarily protected Afghans from deportation, citing an improved security situation in the country, which is ruled by the Taliban. Next headline takes us to India, where Narendra Modi has said that India has only paused its military action against Pakistan and will retaliate on its own terms to any attacks after a ceasefire brought escalating hostilities between the two countries to a standstill at the weekend. In his first address since attacks began between India and Pakistan, culminating in both sides launching missiles at each other's key military bases and airfields on Saturday, the Indian Prime Minister said he was monitoring every step of Pakistan. Donald Trump announced that the ceasefire between the two countries on Saturday basically came into place. He also tried to halt fears that the two nuclear-armed nations were hurtling towards all-out war for the first time in decades. Both Trump and Pakistani officials credited the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and the Vice President J.D. Vance with brokering peace between the two countries after hours of intense negotiations with India and Pakistan. But Modi made no reference to the U.S.'s role in the ceasefire. Instead, he maintained India's line that it was Pakistan that first reached out to India's head of military operations on Saturday for a ceasefire, and it was Pakistan that had called on the global community for help. And our last headline, the government has suffered another setback in the House of Lords over its plans to let artificial intelligence firms use copyrighted protected work without permission. Amendment to the data bill requiring AI companies to reveal which copyright material is used in their models was backed by peers, despite the government's opposition. It's the second time the Parliament's upper house has demanded tech companies make clear whether they have used copyright-protected content. The vote came days after hundreds of artists and organisations, including Paul McCartney, Jeanette Winterson, Dua Lipa, and the Royal Shakespeare Company, urged the Prime Minister not to give our work away at the behest of a handful of powerful overseas tech companies. This shouldn't even be something that is even discussed. You know what I'm saying? Just pay the money. If you use copyright material, pay the people who made the original. The amendment was tabled by crossbench peer Biban Kidron and was passed by 272 votes to 125. The bill will now return to the House of Commons. If the government removes the Kidron amendment, it will set the scene for another confrontation in the Lords next week. And we'll keep you updated. Time to pay them bills.
All right, let's get into Word on Road. I'm going to just breeze through these because some of them are from yesterday and we have a lot of dilemmas to do. So, yeah. So basically, there's a guy who, do you know who Bang Smurf is? Yeah, man.
Yep.
So he was in G Unit at one point. I think he was like a very, very short-lived member. Yeah. But then he basically was like 50s personal security guard kind of vibe. But basically, cut long story short, he is currently a UK asylum seeker. And the reason for this is that his claims that a gang is after him from Trinidad. He's actually from Trinidad. So he's saying that a gang is after him and whatever else. And yeah, so that's why he's an asylum seeker. Obviously, that's news because, well, he's friends with celebrities. So here we are. But then also, he and 50 are obviously not cool. But apparently they were. So when he was his person, they were really, really close back in the day, like proper tight. People were like, you can't see 50 without singing Bang 'Em Up. It's not Bang 'Em Up, sorry.
Bang 'Em
Smurf. Bang 'Em Smurf, right? You couldn't see the Smurf guy without seeing 50 kind of vibe. But apparently one time he got arrested and his bail was like $75,000, something crazy like that. And 50 did not want to part with that money.
Nope.
And so they fell out. I think that's a great reason to fall out with somebody. I think that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah. I hope he's all right, though. Love and light. And then next, Keke Palmer's got music coming. In all of my life, I've never heard Keke Palmer sing outside of the True Jackson VP theme song on Nickelodeon. But she's coming out with an album this month. I need to message Ramsey, see if he's going to be on a rotation, actually. But she released a song from her album, and it's called My Confession. And she's talking about her low down dirty ex. She didn't call him low down dirty. I am, because what a punk. So everyone remember that whole situation. Her ex is Darius Jackson. Everyone remember that whole situation when she went to Usher's concert in a nice dress, in a mesh dress. That's the most covered up some of the women are these days, because some of you are going to sit on restaurant seats. This is why you can't sit on your bed with outside clothes on, because someone else's coochie juice was just in Benihana, and you done swiped it all up, and now you're sitting on your bed with your jeans on. Because I don't know, it's for the way people are dressing out these days. I can see it all. But I'm like, how do you go to, because if you're going to the club, fair enough. I feel like that's the scenery for that. All the best. But some of you are going out for dinners. Dinners with just a side of breasts just hanging out. Crazy work. Anyway, she went, compared to what some of the girlies are wearing these days, she was modestly dressed. She was dressed like a Jehovah's Witness to Usher's concert. And then this low down, good for nothing man went online talking about, you a mom though. Okay. And you're a dad and you're dumb, and here we are. Anyway, in this song, My Confession, she basically talks about that whole incident. Would you believe me if I told you they weren't even together when this man did that? They weren't even together. They were not together. And she'd been feeling the pressure of being a single parent, which is why she had a nice girls' night to Vegas, only for then the person who made her a single parent in the first place to be online cussing her. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. But if you want to listen to this, it's actually a good song. Obviously, she samples, and I like Usher keeps giving her favors. I just love it. Because she and Usher went on a whole thing of creating a song called My Boyfriend. I like people that petty. They go low, you go lower. I can't do that anymore because Christ saved me and told me not to. So I sometimes live vicariously, which I guess I might as well be doing it. But I live vicariously through others, and I'm like, yeah, go lower. So anyway, she does sample Usher's beat, obviously, and it slaps. I'm not gonna lie to you, the song slaps. I wish if it wasn't the story that was attached to it, I think it'd be a great, like, it's a song I'll replay. But I don't want to replay a song that's talking about Darius Jackson's stupid self. I don't really care for that. She did say as well that he don't even like his family, and so it's interesting. Like he's always talked about his family and said he doesn't like them and blah 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 blah. So it's interesting how now he's trying to do like I remember his mum was out here running her mouth, Kiki's mum was running her mouth, but you can't run your mouth with Kiki's mum. She's got time. Auntie has time, and you know, like that generation, they're not politically correct because she was saying a bunch of things in a leaked voice note. I'll let you go and look that up. Next, Molly May and Tommy Fury are back together.
Oh, that's
Personally,
good.
I'm here for it.
Come on, man.
I'm here for rekindled love.
That's it.
If it makes sense. Because from what they're saying, I mean, I don't know about it. I don't know if the cheating stuff is how it is or whatever. Let's just put that to the side. I have no proof of that. But what we do have proof of is apparently he had a drinking problem. So he is recovering from that. And I think they make a beautiful family, and he always, loved her. Hopefully he's not, cheating as well. But if they can make it work, I'm here for that. Especially for little Bambi. Maybe it's named Bambi. I hope so. Or that little elephant he gave her in Love Island house. Yeah, someone's called Bambi. But even for the little baby, is here. I'm here for it. So there's that. The UK influencer Ashley Louise has been. This is the girl whose money she stole this time. She stole someone's money like back in the day. It was a whole thing. It was just a whole scandal online on Twitter and stuff about how she was allegedly stealing from people and selling courses and what. People that buy courses, especially those of you that are currently paying for courses on how to be feminine. You deserve to be scammed. You deserve everything you ever see.
Maybe.
Imagine I need to start selling courses.
Yes.
I need to sell a course of how you can be Esther on TDA. How you can take my role on TDA. People are selling courses for anything. People are selling courses on how to get a man. You will not get a man that doesn't want to get got. And you're paying for that?
But the thing is, the way I see it, I guess, is that all these things improve your chances of something.
It does not.
You know what I mean?
I promise you, does
No,
not.
because some of these people obviously are, not to be disrespectful, are struggling in these departments. It just might be something that enriches your mind and how to present yourself, how to walk, how to talk, you know what I mean?
Do you know? Yeah, for $500, I'll pay, for £500, I think pounds is stronger now. £500, I'll teach you guys how to walk.
That's it.
There you go. One day. I wouldn't give you my secrets now how I'll do it, but don't worry. You just pay me and we'll make it work. I think it's crazy. I think paying somebody for how to become more feminine. All these. Anyway, let me not even get into the bag I want to get into. But there's just certain things I think paying for is very silly. But I would never pay for it. Personally. Anyway. But anyway, so that Ashley Louise was apparently doing, I think it was like she planned an event or a holiday somewhere and people were paying or something like that allegedly, and then they didn't get the holiday back and whatever else, and then she paid. What was the one? It was something to do with Love Island. She paid for something to do with Love Island, and that never happened. Was it a Love Island event or something? Anyway, all of that stuff. But there's a company called Loyal Squad Weekender who basically came out and said that as of Sunday, the 4th of May, they no longer work with her. Essentially, cut a long story short, because ain't got time, she allegedly stole £16,000. That's a heist. In this, because it lives. That's a heist. So allegedly, she stole £16,000, and basically what they're claiming that she did is that she logged into the account and took the money. But then people were like, when you said you were going to be working with her, some of the victims of her last alleged crimes messaged them to warn them that perhaps you should not be in business with this person, you should not be in cahoots with this person. And so these people, of course, don't have any empathy for them. They're like, oh, we told you. So we told you someone's a thief. Someone stole from us, gave you receipts. People did drop receipts. It was crazy. And I believe she said she's even said that she's been paying some of the people back or whatever else. And they said, and you thought it was a good idea to let this person be in charge of your accounts. But actually, reads obviously as she does. She then released an official statement. I'm gonna say official statement. I'm dead ass. It says it reads official statement, and she basically just says that she didn't steal from them. They owe her a lot of money from work and blah blah blah, and they owe her more money than they owe her more than £16,000. But I'm like, did you take the 16,000 without letting them know or not? Because if they owe you more, fair, but don't really care about thieving news and stuff. Miss R Fabulous and Zizi Mills were going back and forth over the weekend, which, yeah, I just think it's a bit crazy actually, because Miss R Fabulous was on Madam Joyce's podcast, Cocktails and Takeaways, and she basically talked about the time where she had an interview with Zizi like years ago and whatever, and she basically just said. And I don't think she said she didn't say anything malicious. I think she talked about her life and whatever else. And obviously people have seen her have issues with in public or, old friends and whatever else. I didn't think she said it in a malicious way. And I just feel like Zizi could have handled it in a better way. If you're going to act like you're above certain types of conversation, then act it, no? So our Fabulous basically said that basically when she had an interview with with Zizi, she told Zizi, don't ask me certain questions. Zizi said, yeah, that's fine, I won't ask you certain questions. Our Fabulous said, Renee said the cameras came on, Zizi asked her the damn questions. She told her not to, and she said at that moment she was just quiet because she's thinking, do I rock this girl's jaw? Or like, what do I do? So anyway, Zizi's obviously saying that that's a lie, and she's still going on with this whole rhetoric and blah, 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 blah. And then, because our Fabulous said that after the interview, she just left because she was fuming and whatever else. But then Zizi's saying that that's not the case. And, they kikied afterwards and they still talked after the interview and whatever else. And I thought what was out of order actually was Zizi then said that no one would want a child like our Fabulous. But it's funny though, because people were in the comments like, I don't want a child like you either. So
these sort of things that people say, man.
Because I think that's mean. Like Renee's talked about so much stuff that she's been through in her life. I mean, I don't think that. I don't always think Mr. Fabulous.
Oh, that's her name, Renee.
Vanessa.
Like, no disrespect to her, because obviously I see her. Like, to be fair, the only place I see it is on Shade Bar, innit?
Yeah, they love to post her. Like, they love to post her. Like, they love to post mugs.
But yes. But what did she do? Like, what was her claim to fame?
Vanessa.
What's that?
That's IVD. Ivorian Doll.
Okay.
So they had beef online or something like that. Then Ivorian Doll was doing some talking whatever, and Ivorian Doll was at an event. What was the guy's name? Is it Shooks or something? Some event. It's a Shooks event. I think it was Shooks event. Some guy, right? At that event, she knew what IVD was, and she pulled up an IVD. And so she carried people along. That she was on live. She was on Instagram live while she was in the cab and whatever else. And she went there to fight her because she was just on a vibe of, if you're going to be talking shit about me, then let's talk in person. And that was when IVD had that sidekick, Abigail. Right? Abigail she got beat.
Oh, man.
IVD was nowhere to be found. But what she did get IVD's shoe. She got a shoe. So she was on the streets of Shoreditch. This was back when Shoreditch was somewhere you could just spontaneously go and have a great night. Mm-hmm. They all had a great night. It was the whole thing. And so she was on the streets of Shoreditch like, Vanessa, where are you?
But why did they get into beef though?
I don't know. I didn't know that was going on. I only found out about her when the beef happened, like when I saw the aftermath of the beef.
So she's just a regular woman online.
She's a content creator. She's a blogger actually. She does like YouTube videos, and she was known for her story times.
Oh, okay.
She does really really good story times.
Okay.
Apparently, so yeah, so that's how I guess that was made her more popular. 'Cause I didn't know her before that. I don't think a lot of people. I think if you watch her story, that she was popular, but that's what made me. To be fair, I didn't know IVD either. I didn't know any of these people. So that was her most, I would say that's one of her most iconic moments. And she's got other iconic moments that's followed. But yeah, so there was that.
Okay.
But she's got a child now, and I think she's matured. All the best, everybody.
Yeah.
Trigger warning, Tory Lanez was stabbed in prison, which is actually horrible. So he's in critical condition, yeah. So actually let me see if this sorry, let me just check quickly. Too busy talking about love. I forgot to see if there's further update. Tory Lanez Okay, that's it. So basically, his team. So trigger warning, violence, and things of such nature. So if you need to, please tune out. Meet us for. Actually, I'm talking about Diddy next. So mute it. Just mute. But yeah, so basically, he was his team put out a statement on his Instagram, and it said this story. Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. I find that word funny. He is now breathing on his own, which is good. Despite being in pain, he's talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he's putting through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. That's horrible. I guess we'll get more. I mean, he stays releasing music, so I guess we'll get information on who he was that had beef with him and who stabbed him and whatnot. But yeah, so that's his situation. He's in critical condition, but
yeah, because I saw something pop up. You know, your thumbnails and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. Yeah, and basically from this thumbnail anyway, it's basically talking about a race war. Like the Mexicans or something did something to him. Yeah, so I don't know what this guy's doing over there.
a little
man.
leprechaun. I wonder what he did this time.
But yeah,
Well, love and light and healing.
yeah,
to him.
man,
Even though I don't like somebody, I like him to live.
for sure.
You know what I mean, like, life is very precious. That's crazy. But I hope he's all right though. And he pulled through the way he needs to. Diddy's trigger warning again. Diddy's trial has begun. They've confirmed that Cassie definitely will be. What is it they do? Not giving a testimony. What is
Testifying?
it? Huh?
Testifying?
Testifying. That's I was nearly there. Testify. She'll be testifying, and she's heavily pregnant at the moment, which is a bit like scary. But her husband, obviously, world's greatest man, he's right there by her side and supporting and everything. So she's going to be giving. She's going to be testifying. But they've had 2 testimonies already. So obviously the jury is selected now. Blah blah blah. Trial started. All his family was there, including Albie Shaw's child. I'm hearing Albie Shaw as well is going to testify. I hope they carve out a whole day for that man because he could talk. And I just think it's crazy how he's going to be testifying. His big head son is going to be in there looking at him testify about how did he allegedly abuse his mother and not do anything about it. Crazy work. But anyway, so they done that. So basically the first person was a police officer actually who was called to the hotel when the Cassie incident happened. When the video footage we've seen that was released by CNN, even though they had it for 6 years. Yeah. It wasn't 6 years, it was 2016. That's longer. 9. But anyway, so that was that person. And then he said that he basically remembers being called to, that there was a disturbance. And he basically just told them that they need to go back to their room. Do you know how scary that is for somebody who's trying to escape? Saying go back to the room. Oh my gosh, chilling. But anyway, he basically told them to go back to the room. And then he also says that Diddy attempted to bribe him. That there was a guy in all black in the room who handed Diddy so much, like a wad of cash basically. And Diddy then gave it to, and the guy was like, I don't want your money, I just want you to get back in the room, so make a noise. So there was that. And then he said something more, I can't remember now. That's annoying. What else did he say? Oh, I remember what he was saying. Because this reminds me of Kobe Bryant, and this is why Vanessa Bryant sued the fire department. He said that he saw Diddy hit Cassie or something like that. No, he saw footage. He saw the footage. I'm not sure if it's the same footage that we saw, right? But he saw footage. He recorded it on his iPhone and said he wanted to just show it to his wife when he got home. It's scary, the people that we have in public service positions like this and their insensitivity to such violence, that for them, it's like when they see these things with celebrities or whatever, it's a thing of, they're very keen and excited to go and show it to other people, because that's what happened with Kobe Bryant, where the responders, some of the responders that were on site, took pictures of him and his child's dead body, and then decided to share it around group chats.
Animals.
She won that lawsuit, which is great, but it's sickening. And even one of them, I think a couple of them, or one of them was in the bar, went to the bar after, and was showing people in the bar. It's sickening. You see a man hitting a woman in that manner, or dragging her, or whatever, everything he did, actually, he did hit her, to be fair, through the vase I had, didn't he? And then you don't, and then you like, what?
Yeah.
And then you take a video of the official footage to then show around. There's that. And then the second witness is someone who was, he's an escort, basically. You know what you're saying? Is prostitution illegal in America?
Yeah. I believe so.
So when you're testifying, like obviously you'd be like, hey, no repercussions.
Yeah.
But basically, anyway, the guy said that he was hired to basically, I guess, it was an escort to have sex with Cassie or whatever. So he said, concerning baby oil, they were using that. He said that Diddy loves some baby oil. This allegedly what man. This is not allegedly what he said. The guy did say it, but in terms of Diddy loving baby oil, allegedly, right? But anyway, yeah. So he said that baby oil always used, like is used to the point where Diddy will be like, not enough lubrication. 1 sec, hold on. Separate them, oil them up more, go again, kind of vibe. He said he also wanted them to like do a role play as if they met in the airport, but neither of them were, I guess, good at acting, or maybe whatever they didn't want to, or whatever the case. But they weren't great at it, so they just didn't do that. He also said, "Oh, the demons surrounding Diddy." I'm a child of light. I'm a child of God. Can't get me. But anyway, he also said that he actually witnessed Diddy assault her. Because I think he must have called her over or something like that. And he was like, oh, bitch, like when I call you, when I say come over, you come over. He said he also heard him slap her. And Cassie then ran to him and he was just like to her, like, why are you with him? Like, and then she was like, oh, no, it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. But then he said that all those things he saw was why he was like, yep, never again. Like, nope, not doing this kind of thing. So there's going to be a lot of, I guess there's going to be so much that's reviewed, and I hope he goes down for this. But I don't know why I just don't have faith in justice system, if I'm being very honest with you. But I think that, I'm also trying to think, what does reality look like for him if he doesn't make it? Because surely anyone that does music with him, anyone that is seen with him will be shamed, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm hoping. I have more faith in humanity cancelling him than I do the justice system finding him guilty.
Put it this way.
For anything. Like, heck, if he sold a pack of gums in school, please get him for that. Anything.
The way I guess I think people would rationalize it is, if he's not guilty, that means all the things that they're accusing him of in court, he didn't do. So he's innocent, right? The only thing you would then dislike him for is what he did to Cassie on tape. People would then say, yeah, but that's domestic things. Things happen behind closed doors. It just happened to be filmed. He said sorry, they'll move on. That's what it'll be. Just like the Jonathan Majors thing.
That's horrible.
Just like Jonathan Majors thing.
I think this is worse than, this is on the level of Chris Brown though, to me.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
So I'm like, if you guys can cancel Chris Brown for this long, please do the same for him.
But Diddy probably done far more for people than Chris Brown. You know what I mean? So the people in the industry would be.
But they're all keeping themselves away though.
Yeah, because that's now, isn't it? if you bust case,
I can't imagine. Like, I can't even off the top of my head. Obviously, except someone like Tory Lanez, but he's in prison. Isn't get deported after prison.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I can't imagine. I can't think of any celebrity that I can see being cool with him after that. Maybe TD Jakes. They're buddies. Allegedly. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really do hope he goes down. But his lawyer is basically trying to say, like, he's trying to argue the relevance of Cassie in this. Yeah. Like, oh no, that was just a domestic dispute. That was domestic violence. But then she was there for a lot of things, and a lot of the people that he was trafficking was to be sleeping with her, to sleep with her and stuff. It's for those shows. So,
do you think the strategy is good though? Because it's just like what you just said. Yeah. If I'm the prosecutor and I'm bringing Cassie on stage, I think what they try and do is trying to parallel him with R. Kelly in it and try and show how heinous he is. All the disgusting things.
Apparently, peed in the mouth. He made someone pee in the mouth. I don't know who it was, but yeah, apparently he actually made someone pee in her mouth.
There you go. So they're telling all of this stuff that is not directly relevant to the charges,
but
to make him look a particular. No, but
because the RICO charge is trafficking, and so when you traffic people, it's not just about like. Obviously, there's different levels, but it just like the people you trafficked, you're trafficking them for sexual things as well.
Yeah,
and it's an organized ring still.
But that doesn't speak to any evidence about how you got here. To me, it's just that you got here and you're doing this. So it's like they're stressing the actions so that everyone looks at him in a horrible way, so that they can get the conviction that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think they have enough. This is just based on my limited knowledge. To convict him on the technicalities of the prostitution, the trafficking, you know what I'm saying? So look at him like an animal, like R. Kelly. We gave him 30 years and we can get him in prison, you know what I mean? As opposed to, that's what I'm thinking the strategy might be.
I would be goes to prison. I might pray about it actually. I might add it to my prayer list. I won't fast, but I might pray. I think I'm gonna start praying about it. I think if he doesn't go to prison, that's such a dangerous. That's very dangerous. That's a very dangerous precedent. Like for so much.
It happens all the time.
But then was R. Kelly's federal as well?
I don't recall. I don't recall.
Anyway, I wonder. The judge just said I don't recall. That man of Stevie J. I wonder if he's going to be one of the witnesses, because I'm hearing that some of the celebrities that people are basically like, don't get me, because obviously with his thing, there's many people involved, so it's like a don't get me involved. I'll testify kind of thing. So I'm interested in seeing what it is how this all plays out, but I really do pray that it's something positive in that he's locked in there forever. Quite honest, I never want to see that man's face again. And he's looking white and grey. He looks like he's like a tanned Jeffrey Epstein. That's why people think, oh my gosh, the sun's out, we're gonna tan. Do you know, if anyone said that to me this year, I'm calling HR. Actually, that is racist. I'm woke now. But anyway, so that's what's happening with Diddy's thing. I'll keep you guys updated on, I guess as the trial goes on. But yeah, let's get into People's Journal. Thanks, y'all.
All right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. It's going to be very swift. We've got some dilemmas to talk about. Just wanted to mention the UK jobs market, man. It's continuing to weaken, people. It's continuing to weaken.
People report that obviously people know. They're still searching for jobs. They're aware.
I think it's gone.
The mic's gone.
Yeah. Brent.
To
be fair, we don't.
Nobody's
Discord,
joining Discord.
Did he? I'm joking.
Yeah. To be fair. Anyway, yeah. So the UK job market is continuing to weaken. The number of workers on payrolls basically falling in the first few months of the year, and job vacancies are declining. All of those things, man. Employment, yeah, it's just not looking good, right? In America, though, I'm not too sure if you guys know, following the S&P and what's happening. Basically, the markets have risen because of all the information yesterday about the US and China sitting down to basically talk and sort out this whole tariff war. So they basically agreed to slash all these tariffs and all that nonsense, right? Around certain things anyway, not completely all gone. And yeah, that's just basically resulted in a total reset, man, in the market. And so yeah, basically it's not as high as it was back in, let's just say a couple months ago, but it's basically on its way there. It's basically on its way there. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Also wanted to mention that Nissan is looking to cut 11,000 more jobs and shut 7 factories. Yeah, man. It's just not looking good, man. So basically, it's going to shake up a lot of the business with regards to the key markets in America, China, and things of that nature. And it's going to bring the total number of layoffs announced by Nissan, which is Japan's third biggest car maker, in the last year, this is just in the last year, to about 20,000. That's 15% of its workforce gone. They're not basically, they've not made it fully clear about where the job cuts will be made, but they're basically saying, yeah, they're going to be reducing the number of plants as well from 17 to 10 by 2027. They still currently employ about 133,000 people globally, right? There's 6,000 people that work in Sunderland in Nissan as well, but long story short, they're going to be cutting 11,000 jobs globally, man. And the last thing I wanted to mention, this is just about Donald Trump, man. So basically, he's signed an executive order, yeah, to reduce the high prescription drug prices, basically. So this is another thing that people are going to point to and say, obviously, Trump is doing a good thing over there. Because I'm pretty sure, well, from my perspective anyway, everything in America is too damn expensive, right? But we've always heard the narrative about the pharmaceuticals industry and all that sort of stuff being crazy, innit? And compared to Australia, compared to Canada, France, even compared to the UK, right? It's 2 to 4 times more expensive in America to get just regular medicines.
To be fair,
2 to 4 times more expensive.
Some lady broke down her bill for like after giving birth.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I just don't get the hype about America. You know?
Because I don't get the hype about pregnancy. Because they're fair. It's true. Like,
no, we need that.
Neither do I. Debatable.
So
yeah, the hype about America. They got good PR.
Yeah, I mean everything's big over there. There's options, everything's there, right? But it's just to me, it just doesn't weigh up to me. It's just I've never looked at America as a place I want to live.
I wanted to when I was younger, but that's because it just looked fun.
Yeah.
Then I realized they just kill for sports. Like they just shoot for sport. I say, hey.
You know what I mean? So yeah, but long story short, that's basically what he's done, man. He's signed an executive order. However, even though this sounds good, right, and I think he deserves some props in this particular area, there are no details on how he's looking to make this occur. However, what did happen though is that it did affect the stock markets, right, with regards to the major job makers. So Pfizer, Eli Lilly, GSK in the UK, all these pharmaceutical companies that basically obviously make a hell of a lot of money from how high their drugs cost. When he put this executive order in, it made people be like, oh, okay, cool. So it did affect how they're looking in terms of the markets and things of that nature. But yeah, I'll give you guys more information on how he's looking to do this. Some people in the industry are basically saying all that's going to happen is that a lot of these companies are going to stop, I guess, providing their drugs so cheaply in other countries. You know what I'm saying? To kind of balance it out. But like, yeah, pretty much like I always say, innit? Like, you get nothing for free. It's always going to, there's always going to be some sort of movement to kind of balance out the profits and stuff. Okay. So people need to be more creative with how they get money from these powerful structures. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the People's Journal.
All right. Should you read the last headlines? Then we do whatever dynamics we can do before the time.
Yeah.
And cut it out there.
Yeah, let's do
so
it.
Headlines then, please. We can't hear.
Oh, yeah. All right, people. So, Vladimir Zelensky says he's prepared to meet Vladimir Putin in Istanbul on Thursday, guys. That possibility was raised after Donald Trump put pressure on Zelensky to meet Putin in person after Moscow suggested talks. So the Ukrainian leader has said that he and his team have absolutely no problem engaging in negotiations and are ready for any format. He also said on X, "I'll be in Turkey this Thursday and I expect Putin to come as well, personally." He also said, "And I hope that this time Putin won't be looking for excuses as to why he can't make it. We are ready to talk to end this war. Thursday, Turkey." President Trump has expressed support. All leaders support this. So this is what he said on X, right, for the world to see. He also said that he was awaiting a ceasefire, but as our previous post shows, a truce demanded by several European countries has not apparently been observed by Russia. So Zelensky said a full and unconditional ceasefire needed to last long enough to provide a necessary foundation for diplomacy. Next headline, and the new Pope Leo XIV, has called for the release of imprisoned journalists in his first address to members of the media at the Vatican. He expressed solidarity with journalists who were jailed for seeking and reporting the truth and said that their suffering challenges the conscience of nations and the international community. The Committee to Protect Journalists said 361 journalists were jailed in 2024. That's crazy.
That's mad.
Crazy. Pope Leo, who was chosen as the new leader of the Catholic Church on Thursday, also highlighted the role journalists can play in bringing attention to injustice and poverty in the world. He urged the media to focus on reporting the truth instead of taking part in partisan divisions and not to give space to fanaticism and hatred. He also said, "We do not need loud, forceful communication, but rather communication that is capable of listening and of gathering the voices of the weak who have no voice." And our last headline, the former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, I hope I pronounced that correctly, who is detained at The Hague over his drug war that killed thousands, has been elected mayor of his family's stronghold. This according to early partial results. Two of his most loyal aides, longtime assistant Christopher Bongo and Ronald Batold de la Rosa, who's the one-time police chief in charge of enforcing his drug law, have been re-elected to the country's Senate. So, but the midterm election, anyway, dominated by the spectacular feud between the Duterte and Marcos dynasties, have also thrown up some unexpected results. The fate of his daughter, the vice president, Sara Duterte, remains in a balance as counting continues. She, by the way, who is widely expected to run for president in 2028, is facing the prospect of a ban from politics should the jury made up of the country's Senate vote to impeach her. And that's it for the headlines, guys. It's time to pay them bills.
All right. Let's get into asking for a friend. All right, so the first one, it's not a dilemma, it's just a comment. Brent did mention it briefly yesterday. So the person who watches the show says, "Hi team, big fan of the show. Really enjoy the work you do. Just wanted to flag some comments made on Friday's episode. Gave the timestamp about the Pope and the Catholic faith. I totally understand if someone doesn't share the beliefs. That's fair, but a bit more care and kindness when discussing faith would be appreciated. I'm sure the host didn't mean it in a malicious way. We know people just avoid saying, hey, Esther. I'm sure the host didn't mean it in a malicious way, but the way it was phrased felt unnecessary. This isn't a call for an apology or anything like that. Just some feedback to consider. Thanks again for all the great content." I wish I knew what comment it was. Do you by chance know what comment it is, Brent?
I didn't click the timestamp. I can click it now if you like.
Would you?
Yes.
Are you going to play out loud for everybody?
No.
Okay, would you please, actually?
Yes.
I'm really intrigued to know what it was. I hope it's not where I was questioning his use.
His what?
His purpose.
Oh. You never know.
Because if it was...
It might be the fiddling. Someone said fiddling.
It could be the fiddling stuff.
That was... Well, I'll just put that in the air, whoever that was. If it's the way I asked for his relevance, I'm not going to lie to you, babes. Thank you for writing in, but you could have added... you could give me the information I needed. But we'll find out. But actually gave the Spotify timestamp, though. Brent.
Spotify?
Yeah, she gave the Spotify timestamp, not the...
I think it would be the same anyway.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Should I go on to the next one while you do that, please?
Yes, please.
Next one is from someone who's age 21. How do I find out boundaries? There are some girls that I'm interested in and I want to get to know. And they all work in the same industry, entertainment. So it's a possibility that some might know each other. What is the best way to find out who I can chat to because I'm single and I'm trying to have fun and find the right one? Oh, okay, rhymes. Says, I wouldn't want to mess with 2 or more girls that happen to be friends, but if they know each other but aren't friends, is that a no-go zone? I'm also a bit scared that maybe word will get out that I'm an F-boy/player, which I'm not. I'm just exploring my options around me. All in all, if I've been with one girl and we're done and she happens to know another girl at arm's length that I might be feeling, is it worth going for? Bear in mind, they're not friends, they're acquaintances at best. First of all, this doesn't sound like you got a plan. It sounds like it's your reality right now. You know, I don't think things are that deep, you know. I'm really of the school of thought that dating people is getting to know them. Like, the purpose of it is to get to know whether you're compatible and stuff like that. Obviously, I wouldn't date, like, if I was with a guy, I wouldn't date his brother. Would I date his cousin? Maybe not his cousin. That's too close still.
That's too close.
But if it's like a friend he went, say someone he went to primary school with, always running.
That he's not in contact with.
How much is the contact they're having? I just don't think these things are that deep. But I'm aware that not many people think the way I think, because the way I see relationships, if it doesn't work out, it's not that deep to me. Like, if someone was like, "Oh, I like your friend, can I date them?" If you guys can make it work, then absolutely. I don't know. But personally, I don't think it's that deep. I think that, I guess when you meet people, the more you get to know them, then you will get to know where their boundaries are. And so you will know whether they're the kind of person who thinks like me, who is not a big deal to you, or whether they think it is a thing for you to date someone that's in their friendship circle or whatever the case is. I think sometimes though, actually no, do you know what? Let me go back on myself. Yeah, you don't need to be dating people in the same friendship group.
But
unless some time has passed.
They're not. They're just in the same industry.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, he said they're not friends, you know.
That's like saying you date a lawyer, you never date a lawyer again.
Yeah, but I think because
of the industry, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think that's deep. I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's that deep. And I think if the people feel like it is that deep, then it just means that your quest to find the one continues. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, that's my advice. What do you think?
Yeah, man, just get to work, man.
Like,
get to work.
You sound like you're eager to work.
21 as well.
And you're young, honestly. You're fine, man.
And what you find, I'm not even trying to send a shot, is that women don't even care about that sometimes. If the woman likes you,
You know what I mean?
she don't give a damn about
All you have to care about the current. If the current likes you, she's willing to turn a blind eye. You don't care about your ex.
at all.
She'll be right, she'll heal. Brent, did you find it?
Yes.
What was, please?
Emmanuel was talking about the Pope's announcement, or not the Pope's announcement. What do you call it when it is you appoint somebody? Appointment.
Oh, yes, your point.
Yeah, the Pope's the new appointment. And somebody in the room fairly, like, why do we need a pope? And then,
Okay, I'm glad there was an and then. I'm so glad there was an and then. I'm so glad.
a whispered comment about filling of kids. Or boys, filling the boys or something like that. But you're
So
just
that's
talking
why-
about history.
What?
You know, and that's my thing, right? Because,
No, but to be fair though,
I mean,
Oh, none of the popes have been.
yeah, the popes are not fiddlers, isn't it? It's been the other people. You know
Which
what I
other
mean?
people?
You know the
nuns.
people in their churches around the world, isn't it?
Priests
Not-
and that.
Yeah, the priests. I should say. Thank you. It's not the Pope himself.
what did the popes do after they find out the priests are pedophiles?
They tried to give compensation to reprimand the people and stuff.
So they still keep the priests in the position.
I
Can you be
think so.
on call
In
as
some
a
cases,
priest?
I think they have. Yeah. I can't
Question,
remember.
Emmanuel.
In that case,
And they have tried to cover it up in the past. To be honest with you, 100%.
there you go.
Yeah.
Do the Catholics see the Pope as a prophet?
No prophet.
So,
You think so?
just like a teacher?
No, like God's representative on earth.
What does that mean,
That's
though?
a prophet.
So no prophet.
How are you defining a prophet?
I thought that's what a prophet is.
That's what a prophet is.
So when you say a rep,
Yes,
what do you
it's
mean
a
a
rep.
rep?
Prophet gives you, I guess, a prophetic message
From who?
from God and all
Well,
that stuff.
okay.
But I've never heard any Catholic say like a Pope is a prophet. You know what I mean?
Wait, so is the Pope to Catholics like your birthday boy is to NOI?
You can't compare it to the nation. So leave the nation out of this.
You know, you get like you can't compare anything. I'll be honest, you can't even compare the nation to the nation, just in case, just in case some kind of offense he hasn't clocked in there.
It's I think what I've heard over the years it's almost like almost like what's a mediator. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So basically, what he says is almost like saying Christ himself said it. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So there's certain decrees that's happened over the hundreds of years that when the Pope has said certain things, this is basically now the movement where we go as a church, you know what I mean? That sort of thing.
So does he hear from God?
Yeah, of course.
Allegedly.
And then he passes on the message?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I guess so.
Does he have powers?
I don't think they've ever said that.
So they do exorcism and stuff.
Not
yeah,
the,
but that's
not
but
the
they're
Pope.
trained. Yeah, not the Pope.
So he's minions, but he can't do it.
I don't think he has.
No, but
Well, to be honest, on his come
I
up,
find that's the final though. I
on
feel
his
like-
come up, he could be one because they pick popes from the clergy, right?
Okay.
Who've served a while
Okay, you put the
in
time
different lifetimes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Not lifetimes.
Because in my mind,
He's
I
not
don't
a
even-
time traveler.
like if there's a demon within you and that needs to be taken out, right? And the priest couldn't, then you'll meet the final boss.
The
Final
Pope-
boss, the Pope.
I don't know.
But the
When
Pope
that
wouldn't-
demon meets me, might laugh. It says my brethren.
This guy. You want another email?
No, sorry. This is Brent talking. This is not Esther. It's just jokes. It's jokes.
You know you can write.
I'll say something.
I'll message.
I'll say something about Christianity now.
Don't you dare.
That's jokes too. I promise that's jokes too. That's jokes too. That's jokes.
You answer to the Lord, ain't not me, boy.
Oh man.
I'll start a coup.
Anyway, yay.
Next one, person is 29, is a man. What to do if you found out your girlfriend and her friend found you ugly? Where do you people find these relationships from?
Ain't we had so many?
We have before. We've had someone who thought their girlfriend thought was ugly.
Yeah.
That lovely Jamaican guy. That was horrible that girlfriend with the horrible mom. I hope you've dumped her, by the way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time has passed. If you had dumped her at that time, you would have really healed by now. This is why sometimes you have to dump people. Because you got to think 6 months in ahead where you're going to be. You're not going to be in the same position. That aside. But we've definitely had many dilemmas with people. Even the woman who the grandparents or her husband's parents didn't think the kids were cute.
Yep.
All right. So what to do if you found out your girlfriend and her friend found you ugly? And they're age 29, by the way. This is giving secondary school behavior. My girlfriend's best friend went on a podcast the other day.
Damn.
Not the mics. Damn. And they asked her a question about her type. My girlfriend's best friend said, I like tall, dark, and handsome guys, but for some reason, cute guys ain't really the wave. They seem to be so toxic. Maybe ugly guys is where it's at. Because my best friend, who met her boyfriend in a stationery shop, she told me she thought he was ugly. But if you look at them now, they're in a loving relationship. He definitely ain't a looker, but he's great for her.
Damn.
The thing is, I know she's definitely talking about me and my relationship because I met my girlfriend in a stationery shop, so she's 1,000% talking about me. I can't lie, I feel a type of way about this because even though ultimately I'm with my girl and I do love her, I feel like she set me up for embarrassment and humiliation. She's told her friends that she found me ugly at one point, and her friends think that of me as well. It's a horrible feeling. My guy friends in my group chat were the ones that saw her first on the podcast and sent it to me. That's how I found out, and it's so embarrassing. Is this breakup worthy? It's brought negative outlook on our relationship from others, and I would never do or say such a thing about her, and I never have. I feel so disrespected. And if you don't think it's breakup worthy, what's the best way to address my girl and her friend to let them know what they've done was not on and how it was disrespectful? I've known about this for 3 days now. Any advice would be appreciated. The guy knew about it for 3 days. We kept him waiting for another 7. I'm sorry, love. We're here now. I'll be honest with you, yeah. Because at the start, I wasn't sure. At the start, I was like, oh, what kind of girlfriend is this? However, though, I think what you need to do, you definitely need to talk to your girlfriend. But I don't think you should be offended that your girlfriend initially didn't find you attractive.
Yeah, I'll be real. That
Do you know what I mean?
part, I just thought, And also, even send it to a friend, especially if it's day one.
That's
or
what I'm
two.
saying.
You know
That's
what I mean?
exactly. But what your girlfriend needs to do is pine her friend.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's disrespectful. So what your friend needs to do is tell her friend that you disrespected me and you broke my you broke my boundaries because now my man is upset, blah blah blah. But I don't think you personally should be I get why you're upset, but I don't think that you should be so upset that your girlfriend found you ugly or you're not the best looking. The reality of life, though, I don't know why sometimes we're all not realistic. Not everyone is everyone's cup of tea. But also as well, sometimes you can meet a guy. I've certainly in the past dated guys that I didn't think they were good looking. But then though, the more I got to know them, they were attractive to me. So they're not ugly to me anymore. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously my friend doesn't know the great things I know about you and hasn't had the experiences I have with you. So of course, to her, you're always going to be the kind of guy that she doesn't want to be with anyway, which I'm glad about because last thing anyone needs is a best friend and boyfriend scandal. There's that. You got to think about it. You got to think things through. Do you get what I mean? So I get why you feel bad and I get that you feel embarrassed or whatever, but it's not as if it's different to those anniversary posts and birthday posts that people do. Yes, I'm talking about that Solomon Bucci guy, where they go online and say, my girlfriend was not the most pretty. She's not the most beautiful woman. She's not the smartest. Matter of fact, she's actually talentless. However, though, you know what though? She's a good mother.
Terrible.
I think that's different. I think if a girlfriend was publicly saying like he's not the best looking guy, but like he's a great guy, yikes, that's not nice. So I don't think it's breakup worthy. I don't think you should break up with her because of that. But I do think you should have a conversation with her. And I think people are allowed to tell their friends things at the start of relationships. Like I know people like that, and now they're like literally blossoming. But I wouldn't give such details. Your girlfriend's friend is a yapper.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. She's the problem.
Yeah. And she's single too. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to look at her and look at yourself and be like, this is what miserable people do.
I'm gonna get cuddles at bad night time, you know. Do you know what I mean? Like she's gonna cut that podcast mic.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I don't mind.
This is what people do, man. It's
But
miserable and broke. Anyway, that's
That was so specific.
No, but this is what people do. When they fit into these categories,
I don't know why you would ever say that.
People.
Why? Because even the way I've said it, like I know people who that's their story. I would never say I know somebody who when they went this person, like I would never do that because it's disrespectful to my friend. So actually, your girlfriend actually needs to give her the side eye and figure out. But I also think you should tell the friend though. I think next time you see the friend, just be like, I don't appreciate the way you spoke about me. Like your friend confided in you about something, and then you went on a podcast and you're putting her business out there. Why would you do that? I think put her on the spot like that, she's not gonna have anything to say. I think do that. But I'm sorry that happened to you though. But
yeah, man. And also, that was obviously a while ago. You might look much better
I
now.
don't say they've been together for, or they didn't say.
No.
They give me 3 years kind of vibe.
But at the end of the day, yeah, people improve. You know what I'm saying? Like even like, I know it may sound some sort of way, but even if you were a 5 back then, for example, why can't you be a 7.5, 8?
Well,
today?
if you ain't put the work to get a 7 or 8,
yeah, exactly.
you're still gonna be a 5.
But if like your girl is of a certain caliber, right? Especially she must be and her friend must be to be talking like this. But if they're of a certain caliber, surely with that time you'd improve. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a better person, more confident guy today. Man. Forget all of that stuff, man.
Also, though, I hope it doesn't come across somehow, but does everyone think they're the fairest in the land? Do you get what I mean? Like, I get that it's hurtful that someone said that, but I'm just wondering within himself, like, he may or may not know. Let's move from here. Let's say there's someone who does know that they're not like the most good-looking guy in the world, and then someone says you're not the most good-looking guy in the world. You can't then take offense. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And people do stuff like that. Like people do things like that where you can't rap. You make comments about you're struggling and you're trying to figure out your sound. I tell you ain't got your sound yet.
Yeah.
Now I'm the villain. I don't know. Just a food for thought.
It's funny. Yesterday, big up Gifty. Check out Network as well. She sent me a clip basically saying, "Oh, this could be a potential topic," and it's basically with that guy B Money. I think it's B Money. Basically talking about, you know what? This is him talking now. I think I'm just gonna marry, like, my wife's gonna be like Meaty. You know what I'm saying? Based on the women that find me attractive, that's just what I've resigned to be my reality. You know what I mean? Like, and it's kind of just made me think about this particular topic. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if, guys, you want to delve into that as the topic of the day?
Why would you say that though? Because now any woman that's with you,
Yeah.
is just gonna be like, "Oh, hey, I'm Meaty."
But
I think he talk too much though.
The way he was talking was like, you know what? Like, obviously I can try and get other girls or whatever, but the ones who show me attention, that, you know what I mean?
The
They're of a
practical
certain
one.
caliber.
That's settling.
And it's made me think I'm of that caliber
That's
too.
not the ones he wants.
It may not
He
be.
wants the tens, and therein lies the issue.
Yes.
Because now you're whoever you're with is gonna know that you settled for her because she liked you back, and the girls that you really like don't like you back. I think the problem is just people talking too much. All right, next person is age 34 and is a woman. My daughter got suspended for 2 weeks from school because she didn't find someone black. We need Christy on this one. The story goes, my daughter's teacher was telling her about inspirational black actresses, and apparently her teacher mentioned Haley Steinfeld. Who is that? Who is in the Sinners movie, who is mixed with 1/8 black in real life, supposedly. My daughter came out and said she doesn't count her as a black woman. My school suspended her for that. I'm feeling to come into the school when she's finished with her suspension and give them a piece of my mind. Her school is very mixed but has mostly white staff. Do you think her school was right to consider her as a black woman, or do I need to teach them a lesson? Teach them a lesson.
Immediately.
Teach them a lesson. Because let them know that that's a mixed woman, not a black woman. And then what you need to do as well is that you need to hone in on black women's struggles and things that black women deal with.
Yep.
That is different to the things that mixed women deal with.
Yep.
Not saying mixed women don't have their own issues, but let them know that it's not the same thing. They have different struggles. And so let them know that by them suspending your child, what they've essentially done is they've not only dismissed your black child, but they've also dismissed the struggles of black women that so many other inspirational black women have done so much and died to fight for. That's how you need to go.
Big
Going
facts.
hot. That's what you do.
Big facts.
I dare you suspend a child for that. Don't be silly.
This is why we say what we say. Let me just show a picture for the people here who have not seen Sinners, because this is why I
Is it that woman that the
mentioned
girl
yesterday.
with the girl?
Yes, this one. So right now, what we're doing
Is
is
that Megan Fox?
you know what
She's
I
like
mean?
she can be Megan Fox's child.
So right now, and obviously,
Is this the one in Sinners?
this is her. This is her.
The one that the guy was in love with and he said he couldn't be with her anymore because she's white.
This is the one.
Which I found was crazy because I was like, oh, so you can sleep with her, but now you can't be with her. Interesting.
An eighth black, right? But in America, you know, eighth or
Counts
quarter
for-
black is meaning black.
I mean, she's black and she's white though. That's always gonna be my thing. She's black and white. She belongs to both communities. We can't denounce her blackness. She's not black in the same way someone with two black parents is black, but she has black in her. That cannot be ignored. Like, simple science dictates that she is black and she's white, but there's a term for that, which is mixed race.
There you go.
So she's mixed race, but you can't. Yeah, man, go and fight for your child, man. Please.
100%, man.
Because that's very cheeky. And I think the issue as well is that I don't think she would have been suspended if that was a black teacher. But this is what happens when white people are trying to overcompensate. So I have a feeling that teacher has a little racism in her heart. Because she's trying to make good of her past sins by suspending a black kid. How does that make sense? Make it make sense. Please go in there with some statistics for them.
Yeah, 100%.
Next person's a guy and he's age 27. Says there's only one more. Okay, let's see. My sister married a white guy and I'm really close with him. It's all love when he's around us and it's almost like we forget he's white. We make black jokes in our family amongst each other, and one day all he did was literally repeat the same joke that was told. Some people laughed, some people didn't. To be fair, the joke was actually funny. He felt awkward, and I had to explain to him that he can't repeat the jokes. It got me thinking that should comedy, the joke, be selective with who the joke is coming from? Because if my black cousin repeated the same joke, everyone would have laughed. But because he's white, some people refrained. Is that wrong? No, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. It's like let's say I complain about my sister or something. And then someone else comes and complains about my sister. You watch your mouth. You keep my sister's name out of your mouth. That's the same thing. So, no, they're not wrong for being offended. And absolutely, he should know the boundaries. Like, he should absolutely know the boundaries. I've got friends who are from different races, and I've got friends who would never laugh or like would never do anything appropriate, like would never repeat a black joke or anything like that. They just wouldn't do it because it's not their place to do. It's not something that you get to do. And in the same way, I would never repeat, South Asian jokes or Turkish jokes or white jokes. I wouldn't do that because that's disrespectful. So you let Lil Mark know that he can't do that. Do you guys have anything to say?
Nah.
All right. Last one. My girl just moved away for 6 months for her job, so we are doing long distance. She's been sending my nudes. She's sending me nudes. For dear. She's been sending me nudes and they are great, and she's been asking where mine are, and I've been stalling. I don't know how to take a good nude, but I've tried. I have a whole folder at this point, but I don't know if they're as good as what she sent me. How do I be sure that they are good? Do I send them to my boys for them to judge objectively?
Stop this, man.
Excuse me, please.
Sorry.
Do I send them to my boy? I'm going to read that again. Do I send them to my boys to judge objectively? Or my female friends? Don't you dare send it to your female friends. That's an assault. That's actually a crime. I know girls send nudes to each other to be sure if they are good, and my girl does so. And my girl does. So what's the best way to be sure I'm taking a good one? I don't want to ask her and she tells me it's rubbish. I don't think a girlfriend's going to tell you it's rubbish. I think when people are in the place where they're sending nudes, I'll be honest with you, I think anything can run. I think anything can run. Oh no, you're grabbing the mic. This is when you grab the mic. You're heathen.
There's an email that's going to be dropped on this video on YouTube.
About nudes?
No. Somebody's going to provide an email address. Send it there.
Send what?
The nudes there.
What?
That's your friend.
What?
Please do not say. Actually,
What's going on there?
Saleh said he's going to be dropping
Do I need to
his
run that?
email.
Oh, okay. Lead with that, Brent.
leave that
my
quickly as
God.
well. Don't
I thought
pause
y'all-
for dramatic effect.
I thought you all heard that Saleh was going to drop his email.
No, I forgot about that. I didn't register what Sally said.
Okay, I'm not going to provide email, not my email.
That's what I said. Do you know what I'm thinking? I want Stephen to be the one to open it. So they can know
And
what
he's always
is
helpful.
happening here.
He's always helpful.
I hope not in that.
Well,
Do you know what? I'll be honest, I think just send it to her. Like, that's your girlfriend. You, in my mind, you guys' bits have touched and whatnot. I don't think it should be that deep. Like, I'm not saying insecurities are not deep or whatever, but I think that if you can't send your girlfriend a nude and let her know that, I've never done this before, by the way. What do you think of it? Do you think, like, give me tips? Just say, give me tips, actually, if you want them better. I don't think it's that deep, honestly. Especially if you guys have had sex as well. I don't know why you guys keep getting naked with people that you can't have certain conversations with. I don't know why y'all keep doing that.
And she's seen everything already, man. You know what I'm
She's
saying?
seen it live, oh.
Come on.
And trust me, there would have been not nice angles there. That was uncalled for. I apologize. I don't think it's that deep. I think I think you're overthinking it because it's something that you've never done. I think that's why you're overthinking it. But no, I do not think you should send that to your boys. And no, I do not think you should send that to your female friends.
If you had to send it to one of them, though, which one is more acceptable?
I think send it to boys.
What? Sorry. Sorry.
It's not a big deal. If the boys don't like a dick, it's not going to be a big deal.
Let's wrap up the show, man.
No, we're not wrapping anything
What?
up. If you don't like penis, if you don't like penis, it's not going to do anything for you.
Who are you talking about now?
The men in the group chat. Brent agrees with me.
What's going on there?
If you're not attracted, if penis is not your vibe, it's not your story. Because I'm sure they might have set news and whatever, but that's a dead angle. It's not that deep.
That's impossible.
So you are okay being in gyms with your chest open and whatnot, nipples out.
Yeah, but you can go to the beach like that, though, innit?
Oh, you can go to the beach like that.
Yes.
But you boys are happy to be chilling with each other with dick prints on your grey joggers. But nude is where you draw the line.
They don't mind
This
when
is
they're
diabolical.
doing choo choo choo.
Bro!
Then
Saying
say
what?
that.
Doing in the same
Send
hole.
it to your brethren and say, just picture us in a choo choo choo
You don't have to do all of that, Brent.
session. Like, what was it saying?
Trust me, men don't mind doing threesomes. And you are both naked there, because it's not as if one person gets naked, then leaves the room, and then comes back. You don't mind that. But a nude, helping a brother. Helping your brother out.
This is diabolical, man.
That's crazy. I think it's diabolical that men have sex with other men in the room. It's crazy work. Anyway, if you must, I think ask your boys if you can. Personally, I don't think you should do all of that, because that's how it could get leaked, and then that's a whole other scandal. And then now you're writing us part 2, but the part 2 is not related to part 1, because now it's a whole thing. So I don't think you should do all of that. And I think also it's not just a crime just because you send it to opposite sex. It's a crime when you send it to anybody unprovoked. In my mind, obviously, you have a conversation with them before you send it. But I just don't think it's that deep. I think you send it to your girl, and I think both of you go through that experience. Do you know what I mean? It's like saying you don't have to have sex and then you go and try with somebody else first.
You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't say that to your boys. That's immediately
some crazy things, their
red
friendship
flag,
groups.
block, never speak to again in
that's why
life,
men ask for sex
ever,
tips.
in this universe or the next.
Fair. don't men give each other sex tips? Like,
No.
I'm sure they do.
That
Men.
don't happen.
I'm sure they do. No, not your group chat. But I'm sure they do. Men are disgusting. I'm sure they do. Men are actually like deviants. So when men are passing notes about the women they slept with, they're just saying, 8 out of 10. That's what they're saying.
I don't know that men do that. That's alleged.
It's not alleged.
I've never heard of
Fendi
that.
fact.
I've never.
Anyway, babes, I just think I think just ask your girl and just say that, do you know what? This is my first time. Give me points for the next time so I can spice it up even juicier for you.
Do women really send each other nudes?
Not me. But women don't mind like another woman seeing you naked. Personally, I'm not into seeing people naked anyhow. That's just me. But women, because obviously women sometimes like you're changing to go out, you're changing so it's not a big deal in that sense. And yeah, so some people don't mind. It depends what kind of friendship you're running with. But yeah, my friendships tend to have our clothes fully on. So that's what we do.
This world is.
Like we talk about sex and stuff like that, but it's not like you think this is a good nude. I think life will teach you that.
So do women give women tips as well?
Like sex tips?
Yeah.
Absolutely. How do you think we came to find out the orgasm gap is in hell?
Yeah, but that's not a tip, that's more a complaint.
How'd you get to the complaint?
I mean,
You start right to say, what a waste of my time and a waste of body that was. And then another girl's like, you know what, girl? You ain't even got to count it. She's like, I know, I won. There you go. It's all alleged. It's all alleged. But anyway, good luck, babes. And yeah, let's wrap it up.
Alrighty. Where is it? Bang.
all right, people, it's been a good show. Thank you for tuning in. Today we spoke about the ministers not ruling out supermax jails for the most dangerous offenders following an attack allegedly from Axel Rudakabana. We also spoke about counterterrorism police investigating the fire at Sir Keir Starmer's house, not where he's currently residing, obviously that's down the street, but where he used to be. Also, we spoke about Keir Starmer defending plans to curb net migration, even after getting backlash from MPs. We spoke about the first group of white South Africans who are arriving in America after Trump granted them refugee status. Apparently, they're going for a genocide. I don't understand. Nobody understands. Hopefully, black people in South Africa also don't understand. And we spoke about Narendra Modi, who is India's leader, who said, listen, we've stopped for now for the ceasefire thing, but this is only a pause. This is not a permanent thing, which is sad, man. Also, we spoke about the House of Lords pushing back against government's AI plans. We also spoke about Putin and Zelensky, and how Zelensky's told him, listen, I'm going to be in Turkey on Thursday. I expect to see you there, man. Let's sit down at this table and come to some ceasefire agreements. We spoke about the new Pope, Leo XIV, and how he's called for the release of imprisoned journalists in his first address to members of the media at the Vatican. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I believe.
Sorry, just to quickly add before we throw out, Christy reminded us of something that did happen. That's right. That guy kissed his male friend to find out if it was a kiss or something like that. Do you remember that dilemma?
Which guy? Oh,
Do you remember?
I thought he was going back to forever, as in the Netflix
No.
thing.
But
Yeah.
he kissed his friend to find out. I think
It's the world we
sometimes
live in.
people see things just helping one another out. That's what humanity's about, no?
Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah.
To be fair, Saleh actually said, what did Saleh say?
Oh, he's trying to sell some goods.
Yeah, no, he was trying to. I'm definitely not reading that. He said an Arabic word. And I thought, oh, he's speaking Arabic now. Nice.
Oh, he said inshallah.
Ah, okay, that's it. All right, people, please follow us on socials. The Day After TNB. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We are on X, and we are on Discord having different conversations. I'm actually upset because I did promise the girlies before I went on holiday that I was going to create a channel for Real Housewives of Atlanta, but then I wasn't. Part of me wasn't sure if I was going to commit to it, and I've actually been committed. So crazy. So I don't know now. Probably too late. But anyway, yes, follow us on all those platforms. And Chims, don't forget that Emmanuel's DMs are open for whatever conversation you would like to have with him.
They're not.
And don't forget as well about the blood drive.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's the end
31st
of this
of
month.
May.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, guys.
It's a couple of weeks actually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't forget about that as well. And I think that's it. We'll see you guys here tomorrow
One more
for
thing.
Foolishness Wednesdays.
One more thing.
What's up?
I need y'all to go and vote for our babes Kelechi Okafor.
Baby girl.
She's been nominated for a Positive Role Model Award for Race, Religion, and Faith sponsor.
Oh, that's nice. Amazon.
Yes.
That's
Oh, is
wonderful.
it?
So I'm going to put the link next to Sally's in the description and also in the first comment. And you
People
can
take it
vote.
seriously, don't you?
Huh? And you can vote, and then you can put a reason for voting also. And then that is it.
Absolutely.
So make sure that you
Get
run the
pledging.
numbers up. All right.
All right, y'all. See you tomorrow.
Later,
Bye.
later.
Peace.